Look, hating on me don't stop. Only help a real cause. Hood legend on some pocket. Manifested till I'm living large. Highballing cause the sky falling. I'ma catch a little piece though. I ain't worried about your little no, she easy as a free throw. She wanna hold me like ransom. Just cause I'm young and I'm handsome. Tell all these to have a seat. I know that they cannot stand them. Burn it and roll me another one. I do whatever I feel like. I remember when we dreamed about it. Woke up this morning, it's real life. Trade the whip, trade the currency. Moving like it's an emergency. We gotta check out, it's close to 11, so baby ride it with some urgency. I'm just here for the fun part, cause I'm good on the money part. I be leaving in the cold season, coming back for the sunny part. With us and get your money up. With us and get your wig split. Ever since I was a little boy, I've been plotting on the big. Bigger pockets, bigger resume. When you keep it really resonate. If he really want it, never hesitate. If he mad at me, he better meditate. You ain't gotta like it, you just gotta live with it. Never gave us nothing. Look at what we did with it. In a foreign city, moving like I live in it. Never call them back. Bet you that they still with it. You ain't gotta like it, nah, you just gotta live with it. Never gave us nothing. Look at what we did with it. In a foreign city, yeah, moving like I live in it. Never call them back, nah, I bet you that they still with it. Never had a thing running to my hamstring, cramping up. Moving like a campaign, smoothie with the plantain, damper up.
Welcome to Paradigm Shift TV 314. This is your brother, DMG the Poet, aka Brother Pianki. And we are here with another spotlight interview with your brother. But before we get into our spiel, y'all know I got to do my spiel. So allow me to say God bless to all my Christian brothers and sisters. Hotep to all my Kemetic brothers and sisters. I want to say shalom to all my Israelite brothers and sisters. Assalamu alaikum to all my brothers and sisters in the NOI. Islam to all my Moorish brothers and sisters. I want to say peace to all my brothers and sisters in the nation of gods and earth, them 5%ers. I want to say what's up to all my atheist brothers and sisters. Salute to all them Abo brothers and sisters. I want to say what's up to all my Naga brothers and sisters. What's up to all my Rasta brothers and sisters? Last and certainly not least, I want to say jumbo to all the rest of my brothers and sisters all throughout the African diaspora, be it here in the wilderness of the United States of America or beyond. Y'all know I say that greeting for one reason and one reason only, is because if you're Black, I'm with you, and I hope that you with me. Our different ideologies should not keep us from uniting. We can have unity without uniformity. And last and certainly not least, ladies and gentlemen, we can disagree without being disrespectfully disagreeable. The last part is tough. But without further ado, brother, please introduce yourself to the Paradigm Shift TV 314 audience.
Oh, man, what's good, man? How you doing, DMG? You all right?
Oh, man, I'm maintaining, brother. I'm maintaining.
Man, y'all know what it is, man. My name, brother Ankh the God Killer, Bobby Banger. Depending on what you get, right? Depending on the energy I get is how I'm going to respond. But, man, appreciate coming through, man. Been a long time, right? Since I hollered at you on Sarnetta.
For sure, for sure.
You know what I mean? I felt like it was a good discourse. And
definitely, definitely. You put me in that proverbial figure for a leg lock. It was all good.
You know what? I just want us to be honest with you, brother. I just want everybody to question a lot of things. And I'm not talking about it from a perspective like question everything. No, I'm saying that, you know, once you get your story, and most of us get it wrong, okay, But most of us understand that our ancestors were enslaved and brought to America. Now, there's another narrative going down, which is ridiculous, ridiculously ignorant. That's the word of the day, ignorance. Okay. I just want us to think, man, right? Like, I want us to, think about where we at and how we got here. And if you can just do that sometimes, it may help you put the story together. So I understand we all suffering from a level of trauma that's been passed down through the ages, man. And my atheism allows me to see the whole daggone thing. It's like a good basketball player, a good point guard. He can see the whole field, see the whole court, and he know the spot you're gonna be to, so he throw the ball there before you get there. So my atheism allowed me to know where everybody at, how you believe, why you believe, and my time and service into the community. I seen a lot come and I seen a lot go. I dealt with what people would call the big shots, like Phil Valentine, Bobby Hemmett's, Delbert Blair's, and then the later generation with the polites, right? He should be locked up. The young Pharaoh, crazy like that glue, and just I've been through the different generations. Bro, and I feel like I sit in the best spot to actually analyze this whole damn thing. I feel like it's good to have people that been through a few generations and still standing. So I just like to tell people, how the hell am I still standing? It's called science and science literacy, man. And it's teamwork. It's a whole group of us, and the group is getting larger. And when I say group, I'm not just talking about the serial killers, just the way I see people fight in the back chats. I call them the alley, right? The reason I call it the alley is because it's on Facebook, but it's not to the public. It's a hidden space. And an alley is always a hidden space. You can make that left turn to an alley, and it's another whole world in there. I'm from Baltimore, Maryland, and you mess around, make a left turn in an alley, you might see somebody getting robbed. You might see some people, they call it the hole, hitting in the hole where they selling dope. You don't even see it, but you make that left in the alley, you see they making transactions. Might be 500 people back there in that hole. So it's a hidden away space where a lot of things can go down. You can lose your life. You can gain knowledge and wisdom. For what we do, there's a lot of knowledge and wisdom in the damn alley. And so I like to always traverse these alleys. And, so, yeah, that word of the day is English, man. But I just want everybody to think, bro.
100%, 100%. So with that being said, what my first question to you is, why do you believe or know scientific literacy is non-negotiable for Black empowerment in the 21st century? And how has the lack of it hurt our progress as a people?
Shoot, man. And so, okay, it's always a fight, and we're always striving, and we claim ourselves to be a natural people. We just do. And since we claim ourselves to be a natural people, then we should learn about what natural really is. We have this twisted view that Europeans gave us about natural. Truisms around the word natural. We have this idea that being natural is peace and loving and happiness. Okay, that's not what natural is, and that's not what nature is. And so the best tool that I found to study the natural would be science, because science is the study of the natural. It's knowledge gained from the study of the natural, because that's what science wants to do. It wants to study nature. And so if we claim ourselves to be a natural people, then the study of science will give us the answers that we're looking for. Now, if we want to understand the supernatural, then we'll just use our religions to study the supernatural. So that's the answer to that first question, brother. That, yeah, science studies nature. And since we're natural people, to get the best understanding of who we are, yeah, we need to study and understand science.
Got you. I'm gonna move right along. You've often critiqued the Black conscious community. In your view, has it hurt? Has it done more harm than good to the Black community? And where did it lose its way?
I don't think it lost its way. I think we right where we supposed to be, because I see a lot of people, whether they get it right or wrong, they're trying to use scientific articles, they're trying to use journals. It's all around us now. We're talking, you know, when I came into this thing, it wasn't no damn thing. The YouTube wasn't up and popping yet. Okay. What they call it? Blog Talk Radio was in its infancy. And I just was in a good space to be in the mix and to meet some of the giants of pseudoisms. Okay, and I was able to you know, to put that alongside the people like the John Henry Clarks, the Dr. Benz, John Jacksons, and I figured out something. Figured out that the atheists, amongst all of them, always had the history. Whether they got it right or wrong, they was always in a better space to give us our thing, because their mind wasn't clogged with this deity, that deity. Well, I can't go past this time period because it is, and it's the atheists. And one of my favorite atheists would be Hubert Harrison. All right, and he gave rise to the likes of the Dr. Benz, the John Henry Clarks, the John Jacksons, and so this space that was starting to formulate. Okay, you know, they was going from prior to the DVDs, what they call them things, the cassette tapes. People was watching those, and those DVDs was coming into being. You could find Sonella down there in Harlem selling those tapes, right? You couldn't get in nowhere, and this world was starting to open up. Well, we're gonna get the conscious tapes. And I know I had at least 700 of them, right? And I was looking at them, and you had people like the Wapians, and everything was bubbling. Everything was bubbling. So that's why, you know, when I hear these conversations, my daughter told me, we was having a conversation, we was all going back and forth, and she said, you know, Dad, he has communication skills are like circular. It was like, what you talking about? Well, he accessed different information from different places to make examples so you can understand. That's a great way of communicating. Everybody just don't do it. And so being in that space where I caught everything just about, and being in the fact that it was the internet was opening up and it was a new space, it just gave me an advantage of everybody. So I was right at the infancy where as the things we was doing was growing, I actually had an opportunity to be slapped wrong. So out of everybody that's even paying attention to this interview, I know what it's like to be wrong and cocky and confidence at being wrong and cocky. So that's my advantage over most of the people that I come across that I done heard the wild thing, and you don't get no wilder than me. Matter of fact, you don't get no wilder than me and SETI being side by side, kicking that African truth, banging on the man, bro. So I know what it feel like. I have empathy for the people. Sometimes I don't always show it though, bro. But I kid you not, man. I know what it's like to be in front of a crowd of people and be wrong as hell, bro. And think you right, and will argue you down, and then argue you down because the information I got is better than what you got. You get that? That's a wild place to be, bro. Where you just a step higher than everybody else, a little bit quicker. You know what I'm saying? Words a little more sharper. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody getting past SETI. Think about that back in the days, bro.
I remember them days, man. I remember them days. And it messed me up because I met the brother in person. And I'm 6'2", 280. And so when I met him, I didn't realize how small he was. I was like, man, are you kidding me? But it just show you how dynamic somebody could be, despite, like, science ain't got nothing to do with intellect and the ability to really be dynamic in what you're saying and what you believe, and how fierce you can be regardless of your size and things of that nature. Because I remember him and Lex what's my man
Lex.
Dying Lex,
Don.
and they going back and forth, and then they stood up. I was like, oh man, yeah, those was legendary days back then, man.
So I was coming out of being I was coming out being around, wasn't quite in it, wasn't in it yet. I was being groomed. That's why I'm trying to tell it. That's why this interview is important. I was being groomed to produce misinformation. Okay, I wasn't in the cult, right? I didn't need a father figure. All right, I didn't need a mother figure. I had family that didn't get it. I wasn't a broke dude, pocket full of money. But it's a lot of African Americans that don't have these things. They come from single parent homes. Some of us do. Not having our father around. Some of us do. Not all of us. But that guy kind of represented that for people. It's certain things I just wouldn't do. I wouldn't live on the land broke. I couldn't see myself doing it. So I could never go but so far. But that information and that sweet candy was that daggone, that blackness, the blackness, the black power, the black love. You know, something we yearn for, that history, wanting to know our story. And the white man's the devil, and he stopped you from getting your story. And man, right? And all you had to be was not too religious, because you can definitely give up Islam, Christianity, and Judaism real quick when you hear somebody that's sharp.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, man, fair warning to all the Muslims, Christians, man. Don't let them trick you out your religion with the foolery. That's even worse. At least the religion got a book you can read. Hey, bro, listen, man.
Hey, I'm already here, bro. I'm already here.
It took me a while to sit back and say, man, yo, at least they got a book they can read. Yeah, no matter how confusing everybody can make it, at least you can say, I just want to sit here and read this today. Right?
Yeah.
And what's on the other side of that, supposed to be representing knowledge and wisdom, is a bunch of nonsense. So now you trapped in ciphers. You trapped in either religious thing, okay, or you trapped in what they call the conscious thing, which ain't conscious, which is which is really fathered and mothered by a whole bunch of wild, whacked out white people, Madame Blavatsky and the boys. Okay, this is the age of Aquarius, all that stuff, right? Bunch of weed smoking, and not the damn people who smoke weed, but I'm saying on acid, they just tripping. They going against the establishment of science, right? Of established wisdom and knowledge, and these white people is fighting hard for that. They bring it in veganism, all these things that we cherished in the beginning of trying to get this truth, bro. So, man, it's a trap and a minefield out there. And I'm not telling nobody to be religious. I'm saying take a step back from all that. Take your time, because I've been there, and I know what it smelled like. I know what it looked like. I know what it sounded like. I done heard some of the best talkers, some of the best speakers with crystal clear words, with storytelling. Malachi, he could tell a story, paint a picture with his words. Phil Valentine, exquisite in the way he pronounced all of his words. The way he would introduce things, and you'd be like, man, I never heard that before. I want to hear new things every time a person speaks. Bobby Hemmett, funny as hell, comedian, crack jokes, talking crazy, all that. I seen it all. Delbert Blair, the way his voice was, a monetary gold, and the way he just said, the way he said, and confident, the Mennonite children, just hearing all that stuff, bro. I heard all of that, bro. And the thing that saved me, and I lie to you not, man, was science and atheism, because atheism pushed me towards the science, right? And as I was just getting into the science, right, I was looking at John, not John Jackson, but I was looking at Diop's book, and he talked about the daggone Egyptians and how science wasn't against the state, but it was against the state in Greece. And these people that was going against the state with science, trying to get logical understanding of things, they called them atheists, and they said they was going against the state-sponsored religion. I say, shit. Okay. I'm somewhere. And so I studied the Greek philosophers. It wasn't even Kemet. Kemet had you pseudoed out. it was studying the Greek philosophy because they set in a space, right, that was right there. Like if you could actually read something about the Greeks and say, damn, okay, you was at a stage where they was trying to, watch this, separate their religion from their science. They was trying to pull it apart. Early in the game, the Egyptians was attempting to do it. Edwin Smith papyrus, first rational papyrus on cures in the history. Okay, they was trying to do it, so they did it. But in the next page, they go right back to the spooks. But at least in the middle of trying to bring them cures out, it was rational thought for the first time in history of humanity, somewhere around 1800 BCE. But the Greeks, they was getting there, but even when they was getting there, they was locking their ass up. They was enslaving them, and they was killing them for that. See, that right there, bro, we don't get that. That being a rational thinker would get you killed in Greece. Murdered.
That's crazy.
In African clans and tribes, if you go against against the sponsored ethnic religion, that can cost you your life. It can cost you your life right now.
Real quick.
So being adventurous myself, I say, well, let me see about this thing that can get you killed. Because I done ran through the streets of Baltimore and almost got killed a couple times. Know what it feel like to get shot up a couple times. Know what it's like to live the life of danger. So being an atheist for me kind of gave me that same feeling that I had running through them streets in Baltimore, Maryland, living on the edge, right? And don't nobody like an atheist, and they get everybody attention. I say, hell, God killer. That'll get them wondering. You ain't gonna miss that name.
Let me ask you this, because you bring up something. This is not even one of my questions. It's kind of on the fly, based on what you talking about. So what I find with atheists is that everybody, particularly in our community, everybody hate them, but atheists show respect to who is due. So you could be a pseudo Kemet cat, and if you come correct, you got their respect. You could be a Christian. I see how the pseudo killers rock with Pastor Bennett, how y'all rock with me. So it's respect is where respect is due, but everybody come against y'all. What's your response to that, and why you think that is?
Because it's frightening when you recognize that there's a possibility that there may not be a God. That's a frightening experience for Homo sapiens. We're very symbolic in our thinking. Based off of the evolutionary process, we developed the mechanisms to believe. Those that believed lived longer to pass their genes on, reach the age of reproduction longer than those who didn't believe. This has nothing to do with religion, just a thinking mechanism. So if you believe that there was a threat in the high grasses because it moved, you would just run, get out the way. You wouldn't think about it. If you was a non-believer, an atheist like me, I wonder why that grass is moving. Let me analyze. It's too late to be a damn lion or a snake, and you're done. So this mechanism, we basically right now in the space age with Stone Age brains. You can walk down the path right now. You can be jogging, and a little mouse will rattle, and you automatically jump. It's part of who we are. It's part of our survival. Religion co-opted that. So it's a frightening thing for people to think that they're just living organisms about to die at any moment. It almost don't give you no hope. Okay? But you know what it do? It make you a realist. That at any moment, your ass is grass, and you best be putting forth something positive. You got kids, leave them something. Work towards that. Meet friends. They may help you out, right? And be worthy of the gifts that your friends may give you, and just honor each other with respect and loyalty. It make you see that. With God, sometimes you got time. I got time. You know, and even if I do die, I'm going to a greater place than this. So you have options as a religious person. I might not have done well here, but once I get through those pearly gates, I'm gonna be good. You get it? Like, I'm gonna meet my maker, it don't matter. So there's options there. But when you locked into the world around you and you realize how just we not even supposed to be here, how crazy this thing is, right? And is 8.5 billion humans running around here, and all expected to die sometime, very, very fast, twinkling of an eye. And it's a struggle. And on earth, death give rise to life. Something gotta die for something to live. Right? So if you got the salmon is going upstream and they reach the banks and they die, they actually fertilize the plants that will grow. The squirrel that follows the tree, or the monkey that follows the tree and break his neck, the ants will break it down, biodegrade it down into food source that the trees can use to grow. So you know, when you have kids, you're ready, you've done your duty. Right? You die so they can live. So who wants to really say that? Nobody wants to say that. We don't want to face reality, because once you really live in reality, then you realize that the only thing that's going to change your situation, right, is that you change yourself. And as you change yourself, you may be able to change your family. And if you change your family, you may be able to change your community. And if you change your community, you may be able to change the world. It is based off of each individual making a choice. Each individual is the center of their own universe, and you only got a little bit of time, right? And that atheism, it make you respect culture, because now I can read all cultures. I can learn from all cultures that have ever traversed the planet Earth, and I can see they struggles, right? The biblical text is a book of struggles of humanity. For people in a particular region, in a particular area, and they up against odds. It's one of the greatest stories ever told. But you find this same type of story amongst the Native American different tribes and clans. The Aborigines of Australia, they all have these stories of the human experience. And so, you know, for me, as an atheist, I can learn from all different cultural stories, because I understand what it is. I'm getting lessons from all of them. I'm fine with it. But if you stuck in a particular paradigm, then you start to act out like the Europeans acted out. They have now, they got mechanisms at their hands that Stone Age people didn't, that Bronze Age people didn't, that Iron Age people didn't. They got weapons of mass destruction. They got intercontinental ships. Now they can touch everybody. Okay, so now they start to mandate the God. And if you do not believe in this God, as we start to venture out to the 7 continents, if you do not believe in this God, we can enslave you and bring you to Christ. Doctrine of discovery. So now they got the ability, okay, to start enslaving people in the name of their gods at a rate higher than other human beings ever could. And now we see the wake of that. The Muslims do it first. All right. The Muslims, they leave out Arabia and they conquer a small piece of the planet, a little piece of it, right? But they conquer and they run Europe for a while. They run parts of Africa for a while, and they leave their language now. You can tell, and they did it in the name of Allah. So now we see, as technology got better, humans start to push their thing, and I just think that's dangerous, bro. So, man,
Yeah, man, you said a mouthful. Let me go to my next question.
Don't let me chase. I ain't gonna chase you out your religion. Yo, you good? Stay
I know. I'm good, bro. I'm good. Like, hey, listen, I was out of it for about 8 years. So, you know, I didn't heard, I tell people all the time, my man Nerdy Brew hit me up one day. He was like, man, I commend you on your patience, because you don't be getting offended. But I used to say a lot of what people be saying to me, so it don't bother me at all. And like I say, I'll be a hypocrite, because I get that whole spiel at the beginning of the show, and then I'll be getting in my feelings when people saying stuff they say. That'll be crazy.
Yeah,
but social media, this is my question. Social media has become both a battlefield and a bullhorn. What are the biggest benefits and pitfalls you've seen from the online community, online Black community, and how do you navigate them?
You can be anything you want to be on the internet. There's no real consequences. So I can talk to you any kind of way I want because you can't reach out and touch me. Think about that. If I meet you in real life, then I get to see your presence. You could be this big, but your presence may be mighty. And you know, dudes know I probably shouldn't say that to him that way. When you see a person in real life, you know, when men look at each other in the eye, you be like, okay, if I say that, I gotta be ready to do this and sacrifice that. See, that's the difference. Right here, you be like, go ahead, you be, you know what I'm saying? So yeah. So that internet has given everybody a damn voice, right?
Exactly.
And I'm saying a voice that they haven't even earned. See, in the streets, you got to earn it.
You got to earn
that voice, bro. You got to earn it. I'm saying I'm not hating. I'm not hating with the new thing. I'm saying, but you know, there was some things I had to go through to be able to get on this internet and get a crowd going. I had to earn that now.
Yeah, nah, hey, bro, I'm hating because like it take a lot for me to listen to somebody who, as you said, I know ain't earned the right to talk to me in a particular kind of way.
Yeah, see,
because it's some people in real life that know what talking to me in that particular way got them. And for me to tolerate that from these cats is crazy work. So yeah, I'm hating. Like we got to get some kind of accord with that madness. But I'm trying to get used to it because it is what it is. But it's still,
like, man, I'll be like, really, yo? I'll be saying, yo, if people just understood my background, they wouldn't even talk to me like that. They'd be afraid to talk to me like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you'd be like, damn. I'm not saying I present myself like that, right? And every hood is tough. And anybody can get it. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying from where I came from, and I'm not saying I was raised in the hood because my mother was affluent enough to take me from the depths of the hood. Watch this. Eden Street. Anybody from Baltimore know what I'm talking about? That's the hood. Okay. To Park Heights, right? That's the hood. You know, Lucille Avenue, all that. It's the hood. Right, to Reuben Avenue, okay, to Luckman Park, where houses, where I become the first Black couple, not couple, but Black family in an apartment complex, right, that was full of Jewish people. And I watch them on Saturday, walk the temple, okay? I used to make money by turning off things when it was the Sabbath, right? And they baby would turn on something. They would employ me to turn it off because they couldn't touch it. Right? When people wore hats and they couldn't drive cars, they had to walk. So I experienced all that. I experienced that. I say I can how they said, I can dine with kings and waddle with bums. You feel me? I know what it's like. You know, when somebody say, hey, yo, the same people you see on your way up, you see coming down. Bro, I experienced that like 3 times.
That's facts. That's facts.
Yo, I know what it's like to be that nigga in high school. You hear what I'm saying? Sharp dresser, sharp young, talk shit hands fast, talk crazy, right? And then see that same person when I'm homeless. Those same people, you gotta look them in their eye. That's a feeling right there, bro. Did you never forget? You know what I'm saying? You can look the dudes in the eye. Yeah, you better not say that. I got it. But
it's different when you gotta look at
like, oh, I'm trying to. They be like, I see you. They be like, you still got that pretty hair, leave your hat. You be like, oh shit, damn. So I know what it feel like, bro. You know what I'm saying? So to be and then the fall, then the comeback, man. So this community thing right here, man. I just think I'm in a great place, and I have a wealth of knowledge. And I watch this. This is funny. Look, I actually know what it's like. to call myself comprehending the book, right? And then fight against the shit in the book. Oh man, we ain't no monkeys. Yeah, I'm Dr. Ben. I'm Dr. Ben. Dr. Ben said he do the same. Sarah Stupid said he do the same thing. This man argued me down over Dr. Ben teaching evolution, yo. But I thought we read the book. So it's some stuff in this book which is hard, bro. And you miss some first couple chapters on evolution, and you slide past that because it's hard and mind-joggling, and you're just not gonna get it because it ain't something you can just read and get like everybody think they can. It's hard. Science is way harder than you think it is. It's hard. Okay, so you skip that and you get to the religious part, and we all settle on the religious part, and we beat up other people's religion. We're faults in our understanding of few things. We have fault in trying to understand geology. We don't understand geology. We don't understand chronology, right? And we don't understand evolution. It's these things right here, bro, that the people that's teaching you don't have no understanding about. Because I did it. I know what it's like. I know what it feel like. You know, what? Lauren Todd ice sheet. What the hell is that? You know what I'm saying? So, man, yeah, ignorance. I know what it's like to be ignorant, but yet teach. I know what it's like to be humbled. That's why these days, man, if somebody finds something wrong in my work, I'll be like, damn, I'm sorry. When I'm in them back alleyways, I get caught out there. That's what it is, a wild shootout in the back alley sometimes. And I have to say very fastly, you got to do it quick. You can't wait days and all that. You got to say, you know what? Yeah, you're right. Because the more you get literate in science, the more those moments when you're wrong is when you actually learn something. And you don't really have a problem with it. The pseudos have a problem, right? You got a person that I don't want to be messy, but I'm messy. Doc, I'm going to say it, right? She tried to take advantage of you being a good dude towards what she was doing regardless. That's just the truth.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
A fact, right? And you was being a good friend by sitting back and looking before you opened your damn mouth like a lot of people did. Okay? You're like, well, let me see what's really going on. Okay? So that's the greatest thing you can do for a person. It's telling the damn truth. You might be wrong. You might be mischaracterizing that. Because I didn't want no smoke with Shorty. I don't want no smoke, bro, because I know the smoke is different with me. I know I've been through way more with this right here than most people had a chance to. And I can tell by the conversation which stage you coming in. I'm not saying I'm thinking I'm better than everybody else. I'm just saying, I've actually, met the people and talked to the people. I know what it's like to talk to a top-notch pseudo Phil Valentine. I know what it's like to debate a Phil Valentine. It's right online. I know how exquisite he is with his words and how we take ancient definitions and put, I know what it's like. I know what it's like. So I'm not saying it's not like ain't nobody no competition. I'm just saying I'm at that stage where I should be the fucking Dalai Lama or some shit. I just sit back and you ask me something, I'm gonna help you out. I think I need to be that guy now. I done killed the gods, can't kill nobody else, right? There's younger people. There's a whole team called the Pseudo Killers, right? There's a whole team of people that's dedicated to getting this information right, yo. And now it's just my job, yo, just to, you know how I go, bro. Like sometimes, man, you just got to direct people in the right spaces. You know what I'm saying? And enjoy life, bro, because I got kids. Because really, all that shit you talking online, the question is, what the hell is your kids doing? See, that's the real measure right there.
That's the thing. Yeah.
So, you still real slick, but what are your kids doing? So, you know what I mean? Hey, look, and it take two to make the damn thing go right.
Look, hey, right when I walked through the door, right, my daughter sent me this text, and it's a conversation. It's two astrophysicists. It's Neil deGrasse Tyson and an Asian brother, and they having a conversation about free will. And I realized, because I was interviewing you, and I'm like, man, these the kinds of conversations I be having with my kids. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that come from watching brothers like yourself, brothers like Cedric, and other people. But I wouldn't necessarily have had the unction to necessarily be interested in that back when I was in my 30s or 20s, because I was on some other stuff. But because I had developed certain interests, and then that would steer me in this way or that way. But then here y'all come with certain information, and you like, oh yeah, let me check that out, or let me check this out. And I think y'all have done a huge service to the community just for sparking certain interests, because I don't think me and my daughter would be having those kinds of conversations if it wasn't for that. So salute to y'all.
And man, and thanks for listening, man. Because you know those who represents. I'm a science advocate. You can look it up. I'm a science advocate. I advocate for science, right? To the best of my knowledge, I want to advocate for science and promote science. And no matter what, no matter how people feel about me, what I can take away from my journey is this: that when it was really time, okay, to help the community, I know I was there. Okay. You know, when that pandemic rolled up in here,
Ooh, I got a question on that. So yeah, go ahead,
making
though.
it short, when that pandemic rolled up in there, I was like damn near 7 months ahead of it, fighting against divine suspect, polite and all them. I was on the opposite end, and everybody hated me for it, bro. John F. Kennedy Jr., how the hell is he in charge of our medical health right now? His whole organization, I debated them in Harlem. Look it up. The Great Harlem Debate. They had the whole damn thing rigged. The crowd was full of wild white people. White people just look. The black people ain't never been that wild and disrespectful. Like I had a whole different thing when I seen ignorant white people. It was no different. I was like, I ain't never seen black people that damn ignorant.
I remember that. I remember that.
Like, really? Okay. All right. And they had the timekeeper was an anti-vax. All right. The person with the rules and regulations was anti-vax. The promoter to put the thing on was anti-vax. Sarnetta, you know, he's just trying to get it together. He putting that, he giving me an opportunity to fight. He don't care. And then when you see people look like you line up on the other side with white people after they swear they for black people, you be like, dog, really? You know, when Divine got that mic and was speaking, when James Balls, you know what I'm saying, he called me his son. When he over there, I was like, what in the hell is going on here? I was like, yo, thank goodness for the other brothers that was there, like Garfield and Hassan them, right, who was on my side, debated with us, big up to Dr. Oyama Yacht. You know what I mean? To put together a lovely slide presentation. That's another thing, bro. When I go in the fighting battle, yo, I got the team put together my goddamn slides. That's how I do it. So don't think. Go ahead.
So let me ask you this, because this was actually going to be my last question, but since we talking about it, let me go and get to it. Why do you think misinformation about vaccines gained so much traction in our community, in the Black community? And what responsibility do Black leaders, influencers, and platforms have in correcting the narrative with science and facts?
Ignorance, bro. Like some things are simple. One thing, the Black community prior to the pandemic, we wasn't fighting no. When you go back home, bro, go around the homies, man. You know Tom, man, yo just got 40 years. He with the feds, yo. Oh, Willie and them, yo, they was getting money, yo, man, yo got his brains blown out, though, yo. Man, Tom, he strung out on dope, yo. Man, you know, Shorty, man, he got a scholarship, yo, to play ball, yo, but he ever sold dope, yo. He dropped out of school. We have those conversations. We don't have conversations, but Willie died from a vaccine. We ain't never talked about people dying from a damn vaccine. How in the hell, right, did we allow crazy white, because they was crazy white people to start the anti-vax thing, yo. Convince us of something we never even talked about. And so it's a responsibility. That's when I lost respect, bro. I lost respect for community leaders like Boyce Watkins, right? Like the UNIA, those, all that, bro, that fought against me. Nation of Islam handing out flyers. Look, check this out, bro. I had to call up. I ain't gonna say no names, man. Dr. Mayat. She is loved in Baltimore, Maryland, yo. She got in contact with one of the captains that I grew up with, right? And we had a man to man. He was like, yo, I ain't even know it was going. Yeah, they was giving out anti-vax flyers, bro. He was like, yo, I'm gonna stop that. I ain't gonna do it. So I stopped that in Baltimore, Maryland, right? Based off of some relationships I had growing up that I didn't even know. Thanks to Dr. Mayat, yo. So I lost respect. Reza Islam, all them, they wild, bro. I lost respect for them for that. You know what I'm saying? These organizations that's claiming black power, yo, they was black ignorance in the time we needed it the most. But thank goodness for educated black people that stepped up on our side. There was doctors that came on our platform. Big up to Chill, right? They brought doctors to our platform, right? We could speak. We had white doctors that looked at the channel like, I'm going to help them out. University of Maryland, send some of their doctors. You know what I'm saying? So they could talk, bro. So, man, yo, yeah, I lost it. Yeah, the conscious community, man, they claim love and health and good wealth for black people went against something that actually in America was spawned by indigenous West African people in 1703. Yo, I was like,
that's the thing. That's what drives me crazy about it, bro. I'm like, so we don't even know the history? Like, hey, man, and listen, I'm like you. I ain't never heard this growing up. No. Like, I'm happy. Like, I got chicken pox when I was little, right? I'm happy my kids don't have to get it.
Yeah, they ain't got to get it, bro.
You hear me? Like, I don't understand it. Hey, man, listen. If I could have got the monkeypox vaccine, I would have got it. They just wouldn't let me get it in St. Louis. Like, you had to be on some other type of behavior to get it. Right. And I was like, I almost said I cut my brother hair, and then he like I was trying. I seen that. Yeah. And that's like, I don't want it. Yeah. If it's a way for me not to get it, poke me. I don't understand this, man. I'm bugged out by that.
It's ignorance, yo, and none of the community leaders are buying books like this. Vincent Vaccanella college level books, yo, biology, yo. Look, molecular biology. Yeah, biology, yo, volume 1, principles of biology. Nobody's buying these books, reading them, bro. College level. Nobody's doing that, bro. But the pseudo killers, man. Nobody's doing nobody. So they're not the word of the day. Like I said, is ignorant. We're just ignorant to subjects, bro. But guess what? The issue ain't that you ignorant. The issue is you don't respect the fact that you're ignorant. Like, you know, say, you know what? I really don't know.
Yeah, don't nobody want to admit that. They can't admit it.
They just can't admit it. Yo, they wrong. Like, it's okay to be wrong. We're gonna be as non-experts, we're gonna definitely be wrong more times than the experts are, man. And we let trickology fool us. We let people say they didn't teach us what they didn't teach us in school. Throw that book away. As soon as you hear the title, what they didn't teach us in school, throw that away. Because all the subjects you claim they didn't teach us in school, you can go to the university and find it. It's not the university part of the schools. It's not a school. It's a university. It's high levels. You can't learn everything in high school. You're going to learn American history in high school. Okay? We are in America. Okay? We have been colonized. And you asking for too much. It's our job. Okay? Like the Jewish community, they educate themselves. The Korean community, they all educate themselves, bro. You get a basic in America. All right? It's your job to give out the real thing. And we're not giving out the real thing because we're not basing it on chronology, human evolution, geology. We're not using none of that. Anthropology to study a culture. We're not doing none of that. As a matter of fact, we make the fatal mistake and say, that's the white man's science. Crazy, bro. So Hey, we at war, man, and it's an intellectual. It's an intellectual war, bro. Anti-intellectualism is what's going on. So I don't care if you're religious or not. Just understand that that's a belief, that's your religion, and it's cultural. There's a cultural understanding. There's religious text with it. That's fine. But it doesn't have to be scientific. Why does everybody want to have their thing scientific, but yet go against the very thing called science? I don't understand that. God is not scientific. The very nature of God can't be falsified. There's no scientific theory on God because you can't prove it wrong. It's not that. You can't do it. So it's in the realm of supernatural. Science is in the realm of natural. So humans created two things, right? One or two, they created science and they have created religion. One is for the explanation of the supernatural and is based off of culture, ethnicity, and geography. And one is based off of understanding the whole of humanity, the whole of the planet, the universe, anything that's natural. Two separate things that humans came up with, bro. I choose science, right? And a little person believe what they want to believe. Just don't cross over. When you try to cross over, that's the issue. But I tell you what, the community is in a better place. When we was at the festival, Malcolm X festival, pick up the Juju. And we had these youth, these youngins came. It was some 22, 23, 18, 19. They came into the table. And, we got, I got the shirts with some thought pieces. And I started kicking that thing. And they was young lions and they stepped up to the plate. None of them was Muslim. They wasn't Christian and they wasn't Jewish. They would say they would eat fire. I'm like, my son did like this. He say, oh, so dad, they missing the piece, huh? I was like, man, stay out of this. But it was refreshing to see young African Americans say, I'm E5. I could take that. So now, okay. So you taking your steps back. Now you see traditional African religion on the same level as Islam, Christianity, and Judaism. That's a beautiful thing, bro. Because now at least you get the experience or at least talk about African culture and you don't think that voodoo is evil.
Yeah,
see,
and that's a great
thing. See?
That's a great thing, though. That's a great thing. Because one thing I hate is we demonize our own stuff because they said so. That's crazy to me. But I'm a little different. So
God is selfish, though, bro.
God
said I'm a selfish God, yo, and God is
that's
selfish.
Fact.
You gotta believe in that God. Like if you don't believe that Jesus Christ died for your sins and to save humanity, if you don't believe he was born in sin, then you tripping.
Speaking of Jesus, and I know you'll understand this segue. Mm-hmm. We're gonna stay with the somewhat controversial questions.
Yeah, stay with that. What's up?
Kemet seems to be a cornerstone of many in the Black conscious community and the narratives thereof. Mm. Why do you think so many Black people are fascinated with ancient Egypt? And do you believe this obsession has become more of a distraction than a tool?
Well, the obsession is the whole world is obsessed with Egypt. There's more books on Egypt than any other subject matter. Look it up. The world was obsessed with what those Northeast Africans produced at time periods that they shouldn't have been able to do it. They produced some of the first writing, right? My company, Abju, is named after a place you may have heard it, Abydos, but the indigenous word is Abju. Is where they found these trading seals. The archaeologist Gunther Dreyer found these trading seals. And so these first symbols of writing was for products and goods and commerce. It wasn't literature yet. It wasn't religious yet. It was all about keeping track of commerce and products and goods. First early writing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he say that. Ephi is not a religion, but no, that's not true. It's a religion. It's a religion. It's a religion. And everybody gonna say that. Everybody say the Hebrews not. You ever heard everybody say that? Everybody say that. Yeah, it's a religion. And so what's the definition of a religion? There's no scholarly consensus on what a religion is, but it's cultural, it's social constructs, it's ancestor acknowledgement, right? You could have deities or one deity, music, dance, folklore. Religion is a compilation of a lot of different things. Nothing wrong with that. Lot of culture in that. Culture is preserved through your religion. You feel me? In those early time periods. Now we preserve our history through science and anthropology. You get it? But that's the shift. But yeah, religion, yeah, everybody got the religion. Ain't nothing wrong with religion, bro. I ain't tripping off religion. I just think we need to learn how to use our tools and our mechanisms. That's my point. Know when if you run out of shit and you standing with a gun pointed to your face and you might say, Jesus help me. What else you gonna do? I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, there are different things for different things. And my thing always was, let's just think white people. Let's thank them. Told my mother this. Never forget it. Say, Mom, we just might as well thank white people. She was like, why? I said, because without white people, we wouldn't have known Jesus Christ. She just bust out laughing, I make things simple in my mind, like we wouldn't have known about Jesus Christ. So back to Egypt, though. Egypt was the light of the world.
You want me to read the question again?
I know what it was. I'm getting to it now. It was the light of the world. That's why it was so important to everybody. It was the light of the world. Is when Europeans start to realize, they geologists, when remember Napoleon Bonaparte went, he took a scientific expedition with him. Drawings, map makers, studying, looking at the artifacts, looking for the writing, It was at that point that they realized that the goddamn Egypt was older than their religion. It threw them. They was like, so they had to kind of like make a deal between the geologists, which was a new field, and the religious. They was like, look, we'll just call it epic, because we don't want to get the fighting back and forth. And a lot of times we forget these things are happening for the first time in human history, when we start to recognize the importance of geology, bro. So it's like I can't explain what it's like finding a brand new, like say we was to find some other life forms. It'd be like, wow, we didn't even realize that. You get it? So realizing the geology would start to make the planet older than they thought it was, and that these people right here are before the Garden of Eden. That's wild. And then you get Charles Darwin later on, start talking about apes and monkeys and all that, and evolve. Remember Charles Darwin? He didn't even tell his story he didn't even release his book till 20 years later. He was so like embarrassed, and he didn't want to. He didn't want to like. I can't explain. It's like being in a space where, for the first time, humans start to realize that, man, we don't come from the molehill in Australia, or man, we don't come from the TP or the river. We wasn't created in the river in America, or man, we don't come from this, that, and the other, or the Nile River. Man, for the first time, there was something else other than religious stories. You get that, bro? And so Egypt made the world reflect on their humanity, because at that point you start to recognize, one, this ain't in Europe nowhere, and two, it's on the continent of Africa. And boy, we got a problem, because racism was rough, right? Wild and rough at that point. And now we got to figure out a way to figure out who the hell is these people, because they can't be Africans in Africa. Crazy. So that's why Egypt is so important to the world, because it's the first place that they recognized was the oldest they had ever seen in their life. Period. Like that's the thing that made everybody open their eyes and say, huh? What in the world is this? And they couldn't decipher the language, so they didn't know what they was talking about. They started making up stuff like the conscious community did. Start saying all kind of stuff. And it was just why it was mystical. It was old. They couldn't understand it. They had no reckoning with African culture. They couldn't really understand what it was, and they didn't understand what it was. When they start to really understand it, it was based off of their understanding it was an African goddamn place. Once they realized it was an African place, and this is maybe 20 years ago when they started really saying it, then they start to understand. They start to look to other African cultures to get the understanding of what the hell they was actually doing. So yeah, Egypt is very, very important, but it's the misinformation that people love about that indigenous culture, yo. It's not, you got people like Jabari, he'll do all kind of this, that, and other. He's not sacrificing no real animals. He's not doing what they really was doing.
I got a question about you and Jabari later, but let me ask you this. You stood 10 toes down for scientific methodology over mythology. How do you respond to critics who say science is a white man's system and not rooted in African tradition?
Well, I just had to go to astronomy. Astronomy is proto-science, and you find it at Napa Playa in Africa, in Northeast Africa. And we got the verifiable proof. Cedric did a great job in the debate on showing that, right? He might have made some mistakes that didn't source some things right. He has apologized for that. All right. And I appreciate the barbarians and Mel and all them and Honey and all and Tiffany. I appreciate them coming as hard as they did, because I'm gonna let y'all know something there. You can't bully a pseudo killer. Yo, we can take it as well as give it. All right. We ain't never crying. And the day we found out we made a mistake is the day we grow and get more powerful. I'm gonna say that and it right there.
Damn. All right. There it is. All right.
Did I answer that question though?
Go ahead.
Finish it. What's the question again?
You stood 10 toes down for scientific methodology over mythology. How do you respond to critics who say science is a white man's system and not rooted in African tradition?
Yeah, and that's called, the word of the day is called ignorance. You can go to UNESCO. Yeah, they ain't read it. It's called General History of Africa Methodology and African Prehistory, yo. Now, I didn't ask you to get what the question was. I want you to ask that again so I could just snap this up at you right here. Here you go. Methodology. You see that?
Check it out.
General History of Africa, 9-volume set. Y'all can read it for free. It's 9 values. You can get it for free. All right.
The question is, you stood 10 toes down for scientific methodology over mythology. How do you respond to critics who say science is a white man's system and not rooted in African tradition?
Yeah, because it's like I said, they don't read, so they wouldn't know that for the first 2 million years of humanity, Africa led the way in technology, bro. And that's before Homo sapiens sapiens. I said humans in Africa led the way. Prior to Homo sapiens sapiens, people was developing technology, proto-science, right? Like the beginning of it. So that means you're just ignorant of what African culture really is. You're not accepting that humanity started in Africa. I said humanity. I didn't say Homo sapiens sapiens yet. Just humanity, period. Homo ergaster, Homo naledi, Homo erectus, Homo neanderthalis, Homo sapiens sapiens, which is the last line. All the rest of the humans have gone extinct, but they was practicing early technology, producing stone tools, okay? Burn they did prior to Homo sapiens sapiens. So they led the world in technology, right? Astronomy is proto-science. It's not astronomy. I said proto-astronomy, where you're trying to track the monsoon rains, okay? Where you're trying to figure out when to plant, where you learn about the summer, know how to plant the crops, know when it's going to rain. If you don't do it on time, your shit ain't going to go, the whole village dies. So it was practical. Then later on, you get the astrology to creep in, and then at different places, you can't really distinguish it, like in Babylon, okay? Mesopotamia. They start off with astrology first. My fault, astronomy first. Why? Because it's practical. There's no debate for that. It's proto. Now, astrology predates astronomy, the scientific endeavor. So people get confused. I'm going to say it again. Proto-astronomy. It's practical. It's for survival. Then you throw in your beliefs and all that. Maybe 1,000 years later in Babylon. In the Nile Valley and Northeast African cultures, they don't get astrology until the Greeks bring it in, mixed with the Babylonian stuff. They bring that into Africa 5,000-6,000 years later. Then you get the scientific study of astronomy. But this is in Africa, all right? Moves in this direction. So humans always have to know something about nature to survive. You're going to die. You can make your mind that you can act like the gods did it through your ignorance in the volcano. So like the tsunami, if you understand what a tsunami is or you don't. So for practical reasons, they start to recognize what a tsunami was. Like when the animals leave the beach area and the water disappear, we need to go. Well, maybe if you had a minute, well, you know, it's just I don't know, and then you would die. So you have to be practical, and early humans had to be practical for their survivability. So science has never been the white man's thing. It's been a human endeavor, right? Which started out with Homo sapiens first, right? In Africa proper. So yeah, they just ignorant, bro. And I'm not using that word derogatory, lacking knowledge, lacking understanding on said subject matter. That's all I'm saying. Don't take it personal.
I got you. All right. So let's talk about this. What has your relationship with Garfield and the Dagger Squad taught you about trusting other platforms and groups outside of those of your own, scholarship and unity within the Black intellectual space?
Man, no matter what, yo, Garfield always stood 10 toes down for me, yo. There was some times in a relationship where he could have switched up on me, yo. He never did. He just never did. He never changed. He never switched up, right? And he stayed there. So, you know, I appreciate Garfield, and he brings an important part to the community, and, you know, just giving us biblical history based off of the way the experts give it, based off of the way you would go to school, right? A theology school, theologians. He teaches from that way. Non-religious aspect, like that's some serious work with it. You learn a lot from Garfield, man. But I think the thing I take away from Garfield really is his loyalty, bro. You know, with me for the last 15 years, yo, he's been very, very loyal, yo. Appreciate him, yo. Yeah.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So in that same vein, you and Sarnetta go way back.
Yeah.
How do you view the House of Consciousness today? Is it still a platform for enlightenment, or has it drifted too far into the entertainment realm?
Well, I think everybody get this wrong. He was always entertainment from day one. Y'all just thought it was something else. It was very entertaining to take a microphone and put it in the face of anybody walking by, bro, and let them tell what they thought it was about. I ain't seen nothing wrong with that. It gives the community a chance to put their ideas out for the whole community to critique. It's just that you don't get a lot of critique all the time, right? But when you say a microphone, if you go back to them old programs, microphone out there, you'll have some people to come through with a little bit of scientific literacy. You'll have this, you'll have that. That's always been his platform was made to, one, let the community have a voice, and two, make money to feed his damn family. I don't know what's wrong with people don't know that. Like, that's crazy to me. He black marketed shit. Right? He was a black market. He black market everybody's stuff, and that's how you got popular. Same with Umar Johnson, all them. They get popular based off of the black market tapes, based off of everybody coming to Harlem across the street from the Apollo Theater, buying that stuff from daggone Sarnetta, bro, for years, yo. So it's always been about business and money, fam. The debates was based off of business and money. right? When you see us outside of the microphones talking, it was business, bro. I mean, he would fly me in, pay me, right? And we'd be out there speaking. We have a lecture, get paid for it. NBC, ABC wasn't paying nobody. They wasn't calling for this type of information, bro. Now you can make your own money off the channel, but that wasn't there yet, bro. Okay? YouTube was just getting started with the payments. Wasn't paying nobody enough. He wasn't monetized off the bat. I was definitely one of the first channels, at least in this community, that was monetized. Come on, bro. That wasn't happening, yo. So that was actually a stimulant to help the community. Whether you like the information or not, it always gave me a place to beat up people. I ain't never mad at it. Easy work for me. Like it's like a kid in the daggone candy shop. It's easy work. Once you get scientific literacy down, science is undefeated. People don't get that. Not that I am undefeated. Science is undefeated, bro. Only thing that can beat science, right, is better science. Simple as that. So going on Sarnetta's platform for me was always practice, right? A debate, make a couple $1,000s, yo, that's money in my pocket. I can feed my family, my kids in school, bro. Going to college, that shit helped me when I needed it. That vaccine debate made plenty of money, bro. That gave me a chance to send some extra money to my daughters in school. Like, that meant something to me. So, people can talk crazy. It's the pseudo, this and whatever, bro. It is what it is. Like, so what?
Exactly.
So what? I mean, that's how that man make his living, though. So I ain't a hater. I'm a participator. You either hate or you participate. So I just participate in beating up the pseudos and getting paid for it.
And the thing is, some of the people who you love to support, hear from, Ghost Feed, and all of those things, whether it's Zoriak, Jabari, etc., you wouldn't know who they was if it wasn't for that man platform. So it is what it is. But
yeah. I always fight against that. I be like, well, shit. I be like, I had a cable show. Black Sun, Black Sun, right? Couple of people, Black Atheists of Atlanta. Black Sun started that. All right. So we was on cable TV. Yeah, like before YouTube, we was on cable TV. Right? And I was on Blog Talk Radio, Nikki Love and Ankh show. We used to have everybody come through. All the pseudos, Red Pill, Greek Pill, Phil Valentine interviewed everybody. Who's list? Remember and Need, everybody was on that joint. Sarnetta, I interviewed them. Matter of fact, we was mortal enemies back then, me and Sarnetta fighting. Yeah, bro. So, man, listen, bro. So I can't speak for how he made or who he made, yo. But shit, yo, I was bringing atheism to the community, yo, way before Sarnetta, yo. We was on cable. We had a cable show, and then I had the Black Atheists, the real Black Atheists of Atlanta, yo. My fault, Black Atheists of Atlanta, and then Real Black Atheist show, right? Produced by my man Talib, yo. He was the producer of the show. So I had 2 cable shows, right? Had a super dope hard Blog Talk Radio when me and Ngozi used to be killing them. You know what I'm saying? I remember meeting Ngozi. He came over to Nikki Love and Ankh show and he was reading palms and shit. It was funny as hell. I was like, what, yo? What the hell is you doing, yo? He was reading palms. I'm going to find that video.
Oh, man. That is hilarious.
He was prolific with the signs. I was like, I say, check this out, yo. You got to knock that out.
Hey, shout out to my sister, Monica Lamb, in the building. I got to throw one of these up for Dr. Monica Lamb. I be forgetting.
Dr. Mo. So, yeah, so people be playing with that, yo. I'm saying something that ain't make me. You might have known me from
Well, I wouldn't say you.
I'm just saying that new people say that. I hear new people saying that now.
Okay.
I'm like, what, yo? What the hell out of here, yo? I had to beg Sarnetta to monetize this channel, bro. He wasn't even trying to monetize it. He was like, well, I don't want to, that information to wipe. I was like, what, yo? You tripping, bro. You lost your mind, bro. He ain't even want to be on YouTube, yo. Because he had his business had to make a transition, yo. His thing was being outside. That's Sarnetta thing outside. He had all the tapes. Now, you wouldn't have known about a whole lot of people. I wouldn't know none of them damn tapes for the record. All right, but so he made a lot of people. What I'm saying is, I had my own lane, me, Black Son, and them on Black Atheists of Atlanta, yo, and Real Black Atheist had my own show before the yeah, like stop that. I'd be like, man, y'all just don't know the history of this thing right here, bro. And Black Son put my Conquer by Religion on there. Said he called me up and said, yo, can I borrow the title called Conquer by Religion? I say bet, and he did a daggone video called Conquer by Religion. That was my shit, yo. The His Culture, Church of Israel, Conquer by Religion, yo. First, nigga. So I'm saying is, yo, most people don't know who they looking at. They don't know. They just be talking crazy and don't really know the struggles I done went through. They don't know.
But I think stuff like this interview, and then you doing it on in your own platform. I think you should make people more aware of that background as well, because it actually got a compelling aspect to it. Because so a lot of times people judge us on the fully formed version they see in front of them.
Yeah. But
they don't be informed of the aspects that it took to get to that fully formed version. So I think it'll do you a service to let people kind of get that aspect of it. But
sometimes I just like people to find out. Try me.
Yeah.
Try
yeah, I get it. So now, like I said, we're gonna stay with the controversial questions, man.
Yeah,
so
go ahead. I'm with you.
The rift between Sonetta and Garfield shook up a lot of the quote unquote conscious community. How did it affect you personally, considering your friendship with both brothers?
I told them the truth. I ain't gonna disclose the conversations I had. Right. And I ain't gonna let another nigga pick my friends for me. We're not doing that. Yeah, we're not doing that, bro. So, I had conversations with both of them, and, I was trying to get them to both knock it off, but they kept upping the ante and kept saying things. And, it just was crazy, bro. And, I remained, I wouldn't say solid. I mean, I wouldn't say silent, but I wasn't going to let them tell me who I could be a friend with, because that ain't how you do it, yo. Right? Y'all fighting, you'll get together. Don't lie on each other, yo. Whatever y'all doing, tell the truth. Right? We all know what it is. We hear, we watching, we seeing it. I think it was necessary. And they both felt the way. And it is what it is, yo. I think they do well apart, yo. Yep. Matter of fact, I introduced Garfield. I pushed the microphone in his face. Monica was there. Not Monica, but Monica was there. Yep. And I was like, hey, yo, I was on the microphone. I say, hey, yo, and I got out the way and walked away. He was stuck with the mic in his hand. Garfield. Mm-hmm. Yep. So, man, they go way back, and they had a good business going with the debates. Right? All that was good business for all of us, man. It just that last debate got all messed up. The money wasn't right. Got all mixed up business. That's why when you doing your thing, yo, make sure that when y'all really start getting, make sure that shit is right, yo. So, whatever they going through, man, they might get over, they might not, yo. But shit, I ain't. What you want me to do, yo? What can I do?
I feel you.
Do what I can do.
Like, just a short time I've been back here in these YouTube streets. It's crazy because my temper ain't the best, and so me and what's his name now? Mandinka Molly. We friends one day, and then the next day we going off on each other, and then the next day we cool. But it's like certain people, it's what's the sister name? Part of the reason I handled that situation recently the way I did is I just say the last part of her name, sister with the last initial X, that got in some situations over on Sonetta channel as well. Mm-hmm. I jumped out the window for her.
Oh man, you can't jump
on more than one occasion, right? Mm-hmm. With Lex Vortex and a whole panel he had, right? Mm-hmm. with my man Q, jumped out the window. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Fell out. Me and him was cool. Fell out about. And then all of a sudden, I didn't do what she thought I should do as it related to Sinetta, and it was all bad. Like, you know,
crazy, yeah.
now I'm enemy number. If I ain't number one, I'm 1A or 1B. And look, I had a conversation with Q, man. I had to eat crow because he say, man, we was cool, and we fell out over old girl. He say, and then I look up one day, and she attacking you, man. You know, I felt like smaller than this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting there like, so when that situation played out, she was giving me them same vibes, like for real. And so I'm like,
make her choose a side.
Yeah, and crazy part about it, I was up on the panel, if you remember, and I got off.
Oh yeah, you was.
Hit her like, hey, wrap this up in 2 to 5, because I already know some things that have been said. It's a sticky situation.
I know.
And so I'm wrapping up 2 to 5. She stayed on for like another 3. So you ain't even listening to me. Then after everything kind of started playing out, I hit Shorty up. I'ma holler at homeboy, and I think we can squash this.
Yeah.
I literally hang up. 5 minutes later, you know, you owe such and such head.
Come in.
5 minutes after I said, I'm gonna hit Juju and said, I'm gonna get in touch with him. We gonna squash it. 5 minutes later, I'm like,
how?
What I'm supposed to? Let me just. So I stopped replying.
Right.
Now is why you not taking up for me like you did with old girl? Is it because it's a girl? I'm like, oh yeah, she done broke bad. So when I said I recognized the vibes based on that last situation, it was like, yeah, let me not do this because it would have been all bad. So
first of all, I work hard not to take advantage of my my situation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like seriously, yo, it's like when you know you got the best dope on the block, yo. You know what I mean? And somebody, one of them youngins come up there and want to try to, you be like, yo, hey, you can take that spot over there, yo. I don't try to say I'm stomp you out. No, go ahead. You ain't gonna get no money until I leave anyway. You ain't get no money until I leave anyway.
You don't do the Denzel and Cuba Gooding Jr. when he was Frank Lucas, and he was like, I would have to insist that you change the name. Like, Blue Magic is a brand name. You don't do that.
I don't do that. I don't do that. But what I do is I mean, like I said, man, I access a lot of information that I've been privy to, and talking to experts, talking to pseudo intellectuals. There's certain things that you would say, right? A scientist is not going to say he's a scientist while being on Sarnetta TV. That's a red, crazy flag. Crazy. It just wouldn't happen. You get that? They be trying to hide the fact that they're scientists up there talking to me. First of all, so that was crazy, right? Second of all, sometimes you just don't know who you messing with. And I get it, because I ain't really, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, as you get older, people, just the younger generation, just forget who you is. Hey, now then you got to, right? Let them know who you is. But I wasn't trying to let her know. Matter of fact, a lot of people was on her side in my camp for 20 seconds.
But this what got me though. This what got me. And this is why I said, see, I got to get off of her, because you declared that you was a scientist.
Yeah, crazy.
Along, like almost close to the beginning and throughout.
And everybody gave it that.
And then you said you astro project.
Yeah. I was like, huh? When? Ancient Alien, hit with the Ancient Alien package. I was like, oh no.
Like what? I'm like, see.
Yeah, she got it.
Yeah. All right, y'all. So I gotta go.
Yeah, you was gone. I see you leaving. You know it's gonna get ugly fast.
Doc, salute. And then wrap this up in 2 to 5. Man, I go handle some business with my lady. I'm chilling. I look up, it's still live. It's a good amount of time. I'm like, she's still. Then I see you giving her the big. I'm like, oh man, I was like the commentator in the boxing, man. He's giving them the business. Like I'm like, damn. Like how did this happen? I said 2 to 5.
Yeah, I ain't go hard on that lady though. I was real cordial with it. You just can't bully me to say I believe you're a scientist. I'm not doing it. Don't believe you. I can say that and it's okay. I can say I don't believe you, right? Like Ali Muhammad, same thing. I got associates and bachelors in science and they showed a degree in his fake word misspelled. I'd have been through the. She's just unlucky. So sometimes you're just unlucky. So yeah, you know what I mean, sometimes you're unlucky. So
all right, I got this is my second to last question, man.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's keep it a buck. Do you genuinely dislike my brother, our brother, your brother, Jabari Osaze? Or is it strictly about challenging what you see as historical and ideological misinformation?
I don't like Jabari. I just seem to be the only one that can box him up. Remember, he the champ is here. The champ, he all that. I seem to be the only one to get to him. I just think he's the most dangerous. The champ is here.
That's hilarious.
He know I know, yo. He know I know. And for me, it's fun having a conversation with Jabari, right? So I know my thing is, it's not to let him get me upset. That's the only thing I do because he's a master at getting you upset. Look at you.
Listen,
yeah, he good at that, bro.
Every time I see y'all,
behavior, yo.
Every time I see y'all, I'll be like, oh, he got Jabari on the ropes. Jabari finna make him curse him out. Like, it is a formula. You get him you have him like Marvin Hagler on Tommy Hitman Hearns. You hear me? And he find a way to piss you off. Yeah, and it turned the whole, it don't even really turn it around. Right, but it make it look like you turned it around. And it is the best hocus pocus on YouTube. Like, it's amazing. It's amazing.
Oh, man. He'll read the whole thing wrong on purpose. Yo, you be like, come on, man. I ain't mad at Jabari, though, but nah. You know,
and then Sarnetta make it so much worse.
That's what it
be. We just seen you put him on the ropes, and Sarnetta be like, he got you. Be like,
what?
What you talking about?
Yeah, it don't. No. Hold on. This what it is. Sarnetta always help him out when he knocked out. They give him the standing 30 count.
He be like the wrestling manager who distract the referee.
Yeah, he do. That's where he got help. Yeah, it's against me. But you know what? I always respected the fact that when I go on Sarnetta, it's not an even playing field. You cannot, under no circumstance, let a person who's advocating for science run your platform, yo. You can't. You got to do whatever you got to do not to let them really get it off, y'all. So I take that. And that's part of the game. I get it. I see you got some people in the chat thinking Jabari ain't never dismantled my arguments. You can't. Because he know what the damn arguments is. No, the Egyptians wasn't black. Why? Because it's a social construct constructed by colonial powers. Simple as that. No, the word Kemet don't mean black people. They never called themselves that because they're in an area full of people that look like themselves right? And you would never be able to separate and understand who they was if they called themselves black people, because everybody looking the same way, based in variations. Jabari know that. He just won't say it.
Oh man.
They're indigenous Africans, bro. And we there now in scholarship and academics say the indigenous Africans ranging in skin color. The closer you get to the Mediterranean, the more they look like Mediterranean people. The closer you get to the South, the more they look like people in Nubia. It's just what it is.
Hey, this is what I'm gonna start playing every time one of the pseudo killers come on here.
You either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Yeah.
Every time one of y'all come on here, that's what I'm gonna start playing, because you and Sid get the same kind of comments.
Yeah,
That's
but they
crazy.
won't. But the people won't jump up here and try me though. They know better. They know you get beat up with that nonsense, man. I wanted to show you something real quick though. Remember I told you that?
Yes, sir.
I kind of talk about how we lack like chronology, geology, right? And so there's a fight going on in our community, right? And just understanding geology would actually help us understand the whole conversation. Okay, so Niagara, the formation of Niagara Falls after the last ice age. Okay, and we fighting about African people or the first people in Americas. We fighting because we don't understand a geological overview that's based in scientific research, right? So glacial activity and the landscape formation during the last ice age, Wisconsin glaciation. See, we don't know what that is. Massive glaciers covered the region. We talking about the Laurentide ice sheet if we talk about America. These glaciers carved out the basins that became the Great Lakes. Meltwater from the glacials formed rivers. Go ahead.
Are you changing your slides?
Yeah, it didn't change for you?
Nah.
All right, let's see. All right, let me see now.
You might have to take it off slideshow.
All right, you can see it now. That's cool right there, right?
Yeah, it's moving now. It's glacial activity, landscape.
Yeah.
That's the one you want?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, so we call that the last ice age is called the Wisconsin glaciation. We talked about massive glaciers covered the region. These glaciers carved out basins that became the Great Lakes, and so these large ice sheets they move across the landscape and carve out basins. Meltwater from the glaciers form rivers and reshape the landscape. Okay, Niagara River Gorge Formation. Okay, around 12,000 years ago, as glaciers retreated, meltwater created the Niagara River. We can also look at this particular time period, and we can look in Africa and find out how people was in the Green Sahara. Okay, all right. Now the rivers eroded the Niagara escarpment, and I can't even see this. Hold on, let me move this over here. Hold on, let me see. That's why I like to make it bigger. You make me change my glasses, man. Hold on. Let me see. Okay, the river eroded Niagara, all right, escarpment, and resistant dolostone cliff. That's the type of stone. That's the dolostone cliff, forming a deep gorge. Okay, over thousands of years, this erosion led to the formation of iconic Niagara Falls. Now, what in the hell do Niagara Falls have to do anything? We talk about geology and the formation of different geological features, right? That would make you understand about humans. Now, watch this. Niagara Falls has retreated upstream about approximately 11 kilometers. That's 7 miles since its formation. That's another way they date it, right? They just go in reverse. Okay. All right. Now, it says erosion is driven by the power of the falling water, which undercuts and collapse, all right, this escarpment rock. It says today, the falls continue to shape the landscape and serve as a natural laboratory, all right, for geomorphology. So it's a laboratory of study. Okay, so if we studying things, right, Niagara Falls is actually a laboratory for us to understand these geological features. And here's the scientific sources. I ain't gonna read it, right? Y'all can go back and play the tape, right? So watch this. All right, play this last little bit. Couple slides, real easy work for y'all. All right. Come right here as we finish off this presentation right here. All right, it's the wrong one, my fault. Hold on. Wrong one. All right. Why I'm making my point here? Is this one? Bering Strait. Oh, got the Bering Strait, is it? Which one you got up there?
It said the Bering Strait process.
Oh, that's wrong. Hold on. All right, I got hold on 1 second. All right, got you. Okay, let me get it here. Okay, so Bering Strait. So right here, the opening and closing of the Bering Strait. A brief geological overview of the last ice age process. So we talked about Niagara Falls and how that was formed after this glacial period. Right now, the Bering Strait process during the last ice age, the global sea levels were much lower due to glaciation. All right, and I talked about the Laurentide ice sheet that covered half of North America. Okay, the exposed land bridge known as Beringer connected Siberia to Alaska. That'd be Russia to the Americas. Okay, it say this allowed humans and animals to migrate into the Americas as the glacials melted, sea levels rose, submerging the Bering Land Bridge. So as these things, as the glacials started to melt, now it covers up the land bridge. An important part right here on this slide is how it allowed humans and animals to migrate to the damn Americas. Now, comparison to Bering Strait and Niagara Falls processes, separate processes during the last ice age. You got the Bering Strait open and closing, and you got Niagara Falls, the formation of it. Glacial period, Wisconsin, glaciation, 20,000, 12,000 years ago. Here's your scientific sources for it. Y'all can go back and play the video. Y'all can look at it. Y'all can check it, whatever you need to do. If I make a mistake, then we all get that fixed. Now, I say all this to say that as we argue and holler and scream, right, about America and Native Americans and this, that, and the other, if we understood these geological formations, we would know when humans was allowed to walk across the damn thing. See? So it's ignorance of chronology, evolution, all right, and geology, bro. Which is hard study, man. Hard. So I get it, bro. I get it while we argue and scream and the banter back and forth. And I get it, bro. But those 7 slides I just showed, okay, will allow you to understand what it took for humans to make it over here in the first damn place, bro. You wasn't just diving out of nowhere. You wasn't just grabbing a boat and float. You wasn't doing none of that in these time periods. You was walking. Right? And the reason you could walk is because of the ice that retreated, that caused later on the Great Lakes and Niagara Falls, bro. So if you study Niagara Falls, you study the Great Lakes, it's going to run you to the Wisconsin Ice Age, about 12,000 years. That's going to run you into the land bridge and the exposed lands and what happens during the ice ages, bro. This is how we supposed to learn out there in history, bro. Go ahead and start with geology, right? Evolution, all right, and anthropology. And then we get our damn story, bro. I just want to put that out there real quick. And it don't take a million slides with a million damn words. Don't take none of that, bro. Very, very simple. You get it?
We got you.
Yeah.
That's
yeah. So tell them don't be asking me to debate, yo. I don't be doing it. Stop. Stop.
We might just see if we can get you over here for as a guest moderator or something.
We do the conversation. I don't mind sword fighting conversations. I don't mind you bringing people up. They want to talk about their favorite topic. I'm good with that.
There it is. So this is my last question, and then we can open it up.
Open it up, and yeah.
All right. If you had the mic for 60 seconds to speak directly to the entire Black community, specifically the youth, what would you say about faith, science, and the future they deserve?
I would first say that your spirituality should always be food, clothing, and shelter and protection of that. Understanding who you are and your place in the cosmos is essential for Homo sapiens sapiens to advance in their environment. simply put, it's important to recognize you, yourself, and everything around you. Stay in reality. Reality will allow you to assess where you at in the world at this particular time. If you're not in reality, you're going to always fail. If you think you're better than you really are, you're going to fail because you're going to come up against some people that's better than you. All right? So stay in reality, right? Be honest, and guess who you can't lie to? You can't lie to yourself. A lot of people that come up here, bro, they be lying to themselves, bro. They know damn well their own family don't even listen to them, but yet they talking crazy to us, right? They know they go to work, they get their little check, they take their check from the white man. Hey, thank you for the check, sir. They speaking to their white friends, having fun, but get on here and talk reckless and wild to us, like we don't know no better. See, I know you ain't. I know the job you work on ain't going for none of that.
Exactly. Exactly. Like you get on here talking about the white man is the devil, and then you go there telling them yes sir and no sir.
Now they do it like this. Look, they do like this. White man's the devil. They hide their face. The white man's the devil. Boo, boo.
Right.
Or they put their degrees across super fast like this. You can't read them. Yeah, I got a doctor's degree too. Yeah, come on, man. Stop it.
Oh man.
You gotta stop it. Yeah, let them up here, bro. You know I ain't been live in a while. I've been chilling.
Okay. We're gonna put the link in the chat. Y'all jump up and holler at Bobby Banger if you are so inclined. Yeah, this was a dope show, man. I actually I usually only do 5 questions, but I was like, I kept thinking of stuff to ask you. So I was like, man, I'm just gonna ask them all of them. It's all good.
Yeah, I appreciate you, man, the way you do your thing, man. I say, man, let me hook up with him. Let me get you, because you know what? I look back at my Facebook post. You have been asked. You be like, yo, when you gonna come do an interview, right? But you never touch back. I'm like, all right, let me touch. Let me touch back.
I be letting my pride get to me, man. If I ask once, I don't be wanting to ask again. I be like, man, I already asked. Craig was like, man, why don't you holler at Unc? I'm like, man, I've been asked him, man. Like, what you mean?
You know, I said he tripping. I said, let me contact. He tripping. I appreciate the way you treat my people, Joe. The way you treat Juju, man, and Juju's like, don't mess with DMG. I'm like, I'm not. I'm like, okay, God damn, Juju.
Hey, shout out to Juju. That's my dog. That's my dog right there.
Yeah, and shout out to all the pseudo killers, man, and the pseudo killer army, man. Shout out to them, man.
100%. We got the Bible breaker in the building, man. You didn't jump on 2 days in a row, man. You know the game needs you. You ain't going nowhere, bro. He tried to retire on me, man.
Oh, did he?
You know I wasn't about to miss this Unc presentation. How you doing, Unc?
What's going on, brother? How you doing?
I'm doing good. Taking it easy. Thanks for asking. Appreciate you coming up here tonight. You were a legend. Am I supposed to be asking a question or?
Whatever you got on your mind, bro.
Okay. Yeah, I thought you was taking questions. My question was gonna be,
I'm taking questions. What's up?
You've been in this game for a long time. And I remember I watched a lot of the old Signetter videos. Well, back in the day I used to. And you was always in the streets with it. And I know you was with a bunch of wild guys. Was there any time that the knowledge ever like got violent while you were in the streets?
Nah, I'm 6 foot, and when we look in each other's eyes, yo, you know, we not walking away unscathed.
Hey, that's what I want to hear. That's good news.
Yeah, we ain't. In the younger days, I was definitely in better shape than I am now. I'm trying to get back there, but you were saying, okay, this dude's about 6 foot, and the same shit he talking online, he talking right here in front of my face. Danielle, I'm on 125th. Yo, walk up beside me. You don't say nothing. I'm like, who the hell is this dude looking at me like that? Right? Look. He was like, yeah, I'm Danielle. And he gritted on me like he was trying to see if I had some fear. So when he gritted, I gritted. Right? And I looked at that nigga, he looked at me. He was like, oh, I'm just playing. All right, boom. Tazariot, that nigga about 7 foot.
Damn.
And he called me a bitch. I was like, damn. I said, who the fuck is, excuse my language, who the fuck is you talking to, nigga? I said, all that cross line shit, I ain't trying. And he knew that, yo, you just had to beat me up, yo. I'll take a loss, yo, but I'm not gonna let you disrespect me out here like that, yo. So he knew that that the shit I be saying online, and I see you in person, right? And if it get there, it just get there. It is what it is, bro. Right? And I ain't even a tough guy, but I already know, yo, when people start smelling fear, that's when they really get you, bro. So you might as well just go out. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you can beat me, you think you can, but go out. Now I'm older, so you know what I mean. I negotiate my way out of shit better, but it never came to violence because what happens is everybody talk crazy online, yo. When you get in real life, yo, everybody, you realize it was online. For some reason, everybody, faculties get together. Oh, it's online. So yeah, nope, I ain't never got there, bro.
That's what's up. That's good news, though. That's good to hear.
Yeah, just TV, like they say.
All right, we got nephew in the building, Super Wavy. What's on your mind, bro?
Peace to the family. Hey man, this was a great show. Uncle Bobby, man, you already know you put it down every time. Uncle DMG. Hey, I heard y'all was talking about the timing. I think this is perfect timing. You know what I'm saying? I think this could have happened at a better time. But I want to say, man, we gotta give our props when it's due. Uncle Bobby made believing in none of this shit cool. Like he, you know what I'm saying? He put the pizzazz and the flavor into it. You know what I'm saying? You would hear, you think of atheists, you think of devil worshippers. Nah, he put the scientific literacy and the common sense into it and made it real. So we always got to give our props when it need be. Great show.
Appreciate that, bro.
That's what's up. That's what's up. All right, we got the Queen Barbarian in the building, Honey Clark. What's on your mind?
Hello. Y'all did a good show. I like the interview.
Thank you, Ms.
I
Clark.
have a question for you.
What's up with you?
So do you see any like anything good coming from people who do hold religious beliefs and things like that? Because I know people always throw the atheists at you like you guys just hate believers, right? So I just want to know, is it like, do you see any good in people who have a belief system?
Yeah, my mother, I love the hell out of my mother and my grandmother and all them. Yeah, it's a lot. Just because you're religious don't mean you're a bad person. I mean, they navigate the world like we all do, and we're gonna die.
Mm-hmm.
So I see good. It is you know, it's based off of what we're doing. So I see it to be wrong when you use religion to try to stop a virus and pray to Jesus to help you when it's established knowledge. I think that's wrong and evil and cunning. But what a person believe, you know, like they say, what you eat don't make me shit. So you can believe whatever you want to believe. But when it's time for us to really do something, and in the natural world, because we exist in the natural world, then those who understand the natural world will progress, and those who don't won't. So you can definitely separate. It has to be separated. And I think this community is not ready for the separation. They think some kind of way that the separation was what white people did, and not being separated is what our ancestors did. The truth is, our ancestors predate colonialism and predate Homo sapiens sapiens leaving Africa. And for the first 350,000 years, we couldn't get out our own goddamn way. We couldn't separate the shit. We was trying. Edwin Smith papyrus. This book right here. Here go. Here's a copy of it. It's right here. Hey, right here. See?
Hey, look at the screen.
I'm looking at the screen. That's Garfield. That's my man right there. Big up to Garfield Reed. What up with you? That's my man, yo. He done brought some of the best interviews. People, like I said, I can't say enough about Garfield. But the Edwin Smith, it says the Edwin Smith papyrus, written in ancient Egyptian script, 1,900 BCE to about 16,000 BCE, is the earliest known medical literature, consisting of 48 case histories. It says it describes the condition, the diagnosis, and treatment in a rational and systematic way. This is the first time it was documented in the history of Homo sapiens sapiens. Think about that, yo. How long did it take for us to put together, read and rational thinking and put it down on paper and not think that it was the magic that actually helped us out, but it was actually a rational understanding of the ailment. That's for the first time in history there, right? 1100 BCE, damn near 350,000 years or so later. So yeah, so no, our ancestors couldn't had it mixed up because they wasn't there yet. It took what our ancestors did and all the mistakes they made for other cultures, AE Europeans, to look back and say, okay, I see that. I see we did wrong. I learned from that. And then, because it's a step, right? It's a step. So we laid those early steps where later cultures could look back and say, okay, I got it. But the later culture, there is no science without proto-science. There is no science without 160,000 BCE, and it's an isotope stage 6, where early Homo sapiens in South Africa, Pinnacle Point. All right, they start to mix together this mixture and put it in their bedding to keep away insects. You know, rudimentary chemistry. Okay, putting together colors and stuff. Iron ochre. This is proto-chemistry. Right, so you do not get to modern science without those first steps. NASA does not look at the star system without Nothoplaya. You have to be able to get the Nothoplaya before NASA, right? You have to be able to make a stone rock and throw it and bust somebody in the head before you can make a arrow, right? A projectile, add a stick to it, make the stick longer. Make a bow and arrow. You don't get intercontinental ballistic missiles, right? Without that early projectile, bow and arrow, which first happens in Africa first. So if you take away what our ancestors did, you no longer have modern science. Human beings are not allowed to move forward when it comes to nature until they understand that step. Simple as that, bro. Ain't no cut cards, ain't no act like I know it. That's why 90% of the people talking about evolution on these platforms, what the hell they talking about, because they have not passed that first step. They can't get out of their mind the monkey. Like the monkey be stuck right here, the monkey, until you put a monkey right here and the elephant right there, and you say, damn, I look more like the monkey than the elephant. And then you say, well, what's the elephant? It's a mammal. Oh, shit. Elephant is a mammal, a monkey is a mammal, a human is a mammal, and they can't get out of the way. Well, why is they a mammal? Well, they have hair. They have live births. They have umbilical cords. All of them do the same. Human beings have tails in their early development. About 12 weeks in, the tail falls off. All these things, man, we can't get out our own way. So, yeah, we learn about these things by studying hard and making mistakes along the way.
All right, let me go to my brother, Jose Francis.
Hey, but that's it. I'm leaving now. Peace, y'all. Peace to chat.
Good night.
Appreciate you, honey.
Hey, and brother, before you get to whatever you got for Aunt, I apologize. I promise you I done had a lot going on. I'm just now getting back to it this week. Hit me up and we'll get that scheduled, but I do apologize.
So let me ask Uncle a question. Is atheism considered a religion, or is that a misconception?
That's a misconception. It's not a belief at all. It's just a lack of belief in the gods. That's never a religion, not at all. People use that as a weapon. They try to weaponize that. So it's not a religion at all. It's just I don't accept your God. There's about 2,005. I got an encyclopedia of gods, man, and I just don't think they have power in the world. I think it's part of folklore, cultural traditions, social cultural systems devised by human beings, and African people were atheists before the term atheist. So you do have tribes and groups of people who just did not believe. Y'all got to be crazy. If we sitting here right now and we are diverse saying, I don't believe that, you had some people in the Stone Age saying, yo, you crazy as hell, bro. I don't believe that shit. Just like that. You already know it. Why? Because the same genes that produce non-belief, it's the same genes that was in the Stone Age. Somebody was questioning that. Bro, you just trying to get an advantage over me. Yo. I know what that water is. Right? I've studied it. I see it. I know where it's at. You on somebody did something to me. I'm not listening to you. So you take your 6, you go over there, listening to the gods, and I'm gonna take my 6 and go over there. By the time we come back, they dead. We laughing. Damn.
Okay. So let me pose one more question.
Go ahead.
Well, we got somebody else. We got some other people on
Let
the
him get
panel.
that last question though, because he like to
Nah,
get
he's
beat
got
up.
a lot of time.
So
Can he get it one other round?
We'll go back to him after we go to the glow of the pseudo killers. Cause she glow like the last dragon. Our sister Juju in the building.
What up, DMG? Shout out
What's
to
up,
you.
sis?
That was an excellent show for sure.
Thank you, Juju.
Great interview,
Appreciate
Bobby.
it.
And that's all I had to say, really. I don't got no questions. You know,
I know you
I
don't.
just
You
kind of
just call
wanted to
me.
give y'all props. And I'm out.
I
That's all I want.
appreciate you, sis.
Yeah, always.
Appreciate you, Juju.
All right, brother. It's back on you, Jose. Unmute your mic.
do you think that our African ancestors saw science and spirituality as the same thing?
Yeah, and they was fucking it up. They couldn't get out their way. That's what that's the reason for this. Right? It's the first time in history. So that what is it? If I'm saying it's the first time in history, did you see rational? Right? Rational now, because it's not necessarily rational to say that the bumblebee changed the world. Yeah, that's not rational, yo. I'm reading it again. It says 1900 BCE is the earliest known medical literature, consisting of 48 case histories. It describes the condition and diagnosis and treatment in a rational and systematic way. That's why they got this in this book called Anatomy, right? Because in Northeast Africa, it's the first documented place where they start to try to separate their damn religion for their beliefs, bro.
Okay. So are you aware that the world's first documented doctor, the world's first doctor on record was also a priest?
What that got to do with what I just said? You come talking about I am Hotep.
No, but you just said they're in their own way, but the first doctor ever in the history was a priest, and he was an architect.
What's the date?
Imhotep was probably around maybe the 3rd dynasty, something like that.
All right. And you say that to say what? He would definitely ain't had no medical papyrus with rational thought in it. They don't got it.
Well, he was able to build the first building of stone. So he clearly was rational in some form. It didn't fall down.
You mean step pyramid, right?
Yes.
Yeah, but that's engineering. That's something different.
But he was a priest too. That's the point.
I mean, I'm just trying to get your point though.
His spirituality is happening for being a priest. His spirituality is happening for being an architect and a doctor too. He did both very well.
I think y'all overemphasize that, and I'm not even sure. I don't know. I think you might be trying to trick us right now. What I will tell you is this, though. You can have a scientist and he go be a preacher on Sunday. People do it all the time. They drive a bus and they go preach. They can do that. That's not mixed. That's two separate things there. So you naming two separate things that he was doing. Two separate things. I'm saying trying to not have them combined. I'm saying that's when we took off. When we was able to put it right here.
He did combine it.
No, he didn't. He didn't. Obviously not. Well, he wasn't curing a lot of people. Then that's for that. If that's what he did, he wasn't doing.
The pyramid is a spiritual edifice. It wasn't just a regular building.
What?
Bro, you can't keep bouncing back and forth from his day job to his night job. You got to pick one and focus on it.
No,
you saying he was a jack of all trades and a master of none is what it sounds like.
Pick one.
And no disrespect to Imhotep.
Okay, so we got 7 of Saw.
More evidence for Jesus Christ than I am Hotep. You want to debate that? If you want
we got 7 of Saw in the building. We'll come back around to you, Jose, if you're still up here. But we got 7 of Saw in the building. Brother, you got a comment or a question for Unc?
Got 7 of Saw. What's up?
You might have to unmute your mic. You there, bro?
technology got his tongue. But in 7 of Saw, yo, you coming up here with something. Yeah. Let him come make sure he get back.
All right.
There you go.
Can you hear us, bro?
Who is this? Are you talking to me?
Yes, sir.
Peace. I got dropped off somehow.
Okay. You got a question or comment for all?
Yeah. First of all, I've learned a lot from you, brother.
Appreciate that.
There's some things that I may disagree with you on, but for the most part, I learned a lot from you. So, I don't really have no beef with you, brother.
Okay.
You be on point for the most part.
Okay.
My question to you is, I have a question about Noptoplaya.
Uh-huh.
Can they trace the people from Noptoplaya? I mean, DNA wise, and kind of connect them to the people now. Are there people? I know there's Kemet was mixed later on, but is there people that you can connect directly into Africa that are connected to the people in Noptoplaya?
They was herders. It was a cattle culture.
Yeah,
They was
I
herding
know
cattle.
that.
And Wingrove, I believe he did the archaeological survey. He got book 1 and book 2. And even there at Noptoplaya, they had like different types of skulls there. Even there and at that early time period. So actually Noptoplaya was a place where they would all come together for festivals. All right. And they
Okay.
was probably celebrating the summer solstice, and they was cattle herders. So it was different groups that was in that Sahara. So you're gonna always have a rich tradition of different groups that actually come together because of the locale. It's 3 continents that intersect. It's an area of confluence, no matter what the hell Jabari say. All right. And right, yeah, it don't always gotta be a river. Yeah, he's just wild out. So so it's always a collection of different types of Africans, right? That was in these areas. So I think we get stuck on we fighting racism so hard because they said it was an invading race theory, right? That formed
Yeah.
these cultures, right? And then when you study a
Yeah.
little bit more, you realize that the Green Sahara occurred. You get different groups come out of Asia, right? Straight to Gibraltar, and they all get in the Green Sahara, and they mingle, they cohabitate, and then as it starts to drop a little bit, it really forced people together, and they cohabitate, and then they migrate to the Nile. Okay, and so it's a conduit. The Nile is a conduit, not a barrier of human beings, and so it takes a lot of study and understanding to get these answers here, but we're looking for a true African, and that's a pseudo concept. It's not even legitimate. That's not who humans are. That's not who Homo sapiens sapien is actually a collection of archaic humans. We the
I
mix.
agree with
We are
that.
the mix.
Yeah, there's not one main human being or from Africa.
No
I
such,
agree with that.
no such thing as 100% African. That's stupid.
Yeah,
They
I agree
misunderstand
with that.
Let me get to the future of Paradigm Shift TV 314, the one and only classic Craig in the building.
Man, DMG, you wild for that one. But yo, what's up, Ankh?
What's up,
Glad,
man? What's good with you?
glad to hear, Chief. Shout out to you, DMG for president. You know what I'm saying? He'll be better. He'll be the best president ever. Shout out to DMG. But hey, Ankh, I got 3 questions to ask you.
What's
You
up?
know what I'm saying? You know, if
Uh-huh.
you be so polite. Um, I for a while I've been doing a lot of research on this
Mm-hmm.
topic, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I know the conscious community bigs up Egypt a lot, but it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't give us West Africans, those from the diaspora, they don't give us the credit. You feel what I'm saying? It's like they want to
Mm-hmm.
be somebody else. You feel me? So,
Okay.
from your research, from your understanding,
Mm-hmm.
who is more advanced? Those over there in Egypt or us, the West Africans? I'm not talking about the descendants. I'm talking about on the continent. You know what I'm saying? So, who would be more advanced?
Shit. They do different things.
Mm-hmm.
And if you got an affinity for spending all your money, and you gonna say, damn, got an affinity for people who you know what I'm saying, want to do pottery. So the earliest pottery found in West Africa, that's like a daggone space shuttle for that time period. Like it changed the whole course of human history. You get it? Like once you develop a system of putting food in something and can cover that shit up, bro. Now the animals can't eat it. Now you can store stuff. Yo, you on a whole nother level than anybody else. So it's depending on, I mean, if you're gonna follow white people, they're gonna say it's the big tall buildings. Well, hell, I say, okay, but that took a lot of money and resources. I like the pottery in West Africa. I think that's more advanced. I got the earliest pottery. That's advanced. That's the daggone space shuttle of the time, bro. Right. So I like the West African technology better than the building. But it's all African in nature. Right. It depends on what you like. Do you like a pot? Do you understand what the pot represent? How about the building ain't nothing but a daggone burial? The building itself is not a burial chamber, but it starts off with the mastapas, and they just pile them on top of each other. Yo, great ingenuity right there. So it's a marvel, of the time. But the fucking pottery is a marvel. It changed the course of human history, bro. So I don't shit. That's how I think of it.
And they had the polished stone blades too. Polished stone blades to cut through the through the woodland savannas.
Okay, because it's just like I find it. I talk with Sid a lot. You know what I'm saying? I rock with Sid a lot. That's my dog. You know what I'm saying? Like he go hard for real. But I just noticed, dealing with him, right, and just going into Sid, he'll source bomb you to death, right? He's like, Classic, read this, Classic, and come back and talk to me. You know how he be. You know what I'm saying? And by going into it, I realized, that. And I could be wrong. The Egyptians were basically Stone Age individuals. And then you had West Africans that were Iron Age. Not all, but you had like those who were pretty much pushing that iron, using iron weaponry for their cooking. You know what I'm saying? They were Iron Age individuals. And last time I checked, those who can use iron, reforge it, they're more advanced. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, right. It's lost.
It depends on what part of West Africa you're talking about, because it happened in a particular part of West Africa, in Adamawa in the region, among Adamawa Ubangian culture, and it spread it. So even the Bantu culture, the Bantu didn't even get iron work until they got to the lakes, and they got it from the Adamawa Ubangian people and some of the southern Sudanic, Nilo-Saharan groups that was in their region. So it depends, like how it moves. Like even Egypt was still it became Bronze Age. It's all Neolithic, all of them Neolithic.
Hey, Gullah, if you don't let me answer my goddamn question, yo, I swear to God. I swear to God. That's my man Gullah through the hard way, man. Through the hard way, bro. So this how I would answer the question, right? The Egyptians, right? They made it to the Bronze Age. They didn't make it to the Iron Age. They ain't produced shit in the iron, right? So it's time periods we talking about here. Okay, so they was the masters of stone, but they wasn't the masters of iron, and that's why they lost against the Assyrians. They had the stone tools, and the daggone Assyrians had the iron. That's the difference. So,
okay.
You know what I mean?
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. And now check this out. I got a lot of presentations I got to present. DMG is forcing me to start doing more things on the channel. I'm just letting you all know I'm coming back on my shows called The Loud and Clear with Classic Craig. It's gonna be lit. It's gonna be wild. You know what I'm saying? A lot of fights gonna be happening, but a lot of fun's gonna be happening also. So I'll just extending that invitation out for everyone. Now, a lot of individuals feel like you pseudo killers are either agents, reptilians, white people wearing black clothing. What other conspiracy theory they feel like you? Anyway, they feel like you guys ain't human, right? Or black people. So I told DMG I feel like with the pseudo killers, so you guys be over there, in your secret pseudo killer island, that you guys can come down to Paradigm Shift, let people know that you're actually human, to talk with you. We'll. Cause my thing is, I know your reputation. I know I've watched it. I watched when they said, hey, you stepping on the flag, you're stepping on the flag, you know what I'm saying? And I saw you in the warehouse with your brand, you know what I'm saying? I saw all of that, you know what I'm saying? So I can't help but love how you actually do what you do and how you shut the naysayers up. So I'm extending that invitation so individuals can come converse respectfully with you. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of things we're gonna get popping. Also, the last thing too, man. Can I get your autograph, please?
Yeah, I'm gonna send you an autograph. You know what? I'm gonna send you an autograph copy of my new book when it come out.
Yeah. Please do that.
Chronology of Human Evolution Part 2.
Cause I asked Sage to do it. She cussed me out. You know what I'm saying?
Did she?
Yeah, she did. Yeah, I got
It's
mad.
an honor, bro.
Hung up. I said, you ain't my friend. But you know, I'm joking. I ain't asking. But nah, man. I am a big fan. But you
Appreciate
know,
that.
I'm just saying this, man. It is great to have you around, brother. You know, some Wavy laughing at me. Wavy want an autograph too. He wants the autograph also. He too scared to ask. You know what I'm saying? But
Man, shit.
But brother Unc, I don't think I got any clarity with my
On what?
question that I asked you about who would be the people that would be connected to the people that were in Nap the Playa. Were you saying that those were a collection of Africans
Yep.
there,
Yep.
a collection of people, and then those people were the people that started building up in the Sudan and up the Nile River? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, yep. So you get people from the north and the south, and
Okay.
coming from the Red Sea area, and coming from the people forget the Saharas, right? Egypt is in the Sahara.
Yeah.
So not the Playa is actually southern Egypt. It's down in that
Yeah.
area. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is where they found one of the oldest stone statues of a cattle.
Facts.
Mm-hmm. But we stuck on one way looking African. That's not even real. That was actually racism. And so
Yeah.
we have a racist idea of what black people should look like. We think
Facts.
that first of all, we think we black people. That's the term we're using, which throw you
It's
off.
a political term. It's just a political term, though.
It's a social term, political term. I use the word
Yeah.
black for politics reasons. All right.
Facts. Me too. Me too.
But for these detailed, delicate conversations, I don't use it because now I'm muddying the water, right? And it's putting me in a certain category outside of science. I don't want to do that. And so there's no one way to be African. And Samantha Cater, he said it best. He said the Koreans are Asians, the Chinese are Asians, Japanese are Asians. People in the subcontinent of India are Asians. People in the Caucasus, Asia, are Asians. So they're all Asians. No one more Asian than the other. Africa is the most diverse population on planet Earth.
Facts.
Right? So you would have
different phenotypes, different colors. Yes, facts.
And so you would have people outside of Africa that's more closely related to somebody in Africa than the Africans themselves. So it's not hard to see why Europeans came in and messed it up. I talk about those scientific expeditions. They definitely wasn't trying to say it was that. So they separated Sub-Saharan Africa and North Africa, and they did all the separations, and the white people was invading people, the people that look. So I'm saying you can look at a person, you say, yo, got blue eyes and his hair straighter, and that's not an African, but yeah, that isn't. Just as African as the Sudanese.
Okay, so
right. So we it's hard for people to. It's just hard, bro. Like I don't expect people to get that. So the people that not apply, it wasn't just one particular, look. It wouldn't have made sense. They coming out the Green Sahara. Look at the time period. That's why I say chronology, geography.
But they did mix, though, right? The South and the North mix. They did mix, right? Those people.
There's a river.
Yeah.
It's a conduit. The closer you get to the South, the darker you be, right? The closer you get to the North, you start lightening up.
And I think the black argument is a semantical one because depending on the person's understanding, if you told them they would be considered what we would call black today, I think they would get a clear picture of what the people look like. But I understand your point of view of it in a science point of view. So
I don't know if I I don't know if I accept that they would be black
Okay.
because that's based off the one drop rule, which is a pseudoscientific 1974.
Facts.
Young,
I agree with that. But you would agree that there's people who, when they think of African people, they think of black. Whether or not they may not recognize themselves as black, but there are people who may not look at black people with ethnic variations. They just see somebody who's dark skinned, and their first thing they come to is black. So
and
I think
that's
for those
and
people,
that's because colonialism, though.
facts. I don't
Right.
disagree with that, but we
So
can't
we fighting against
we can't
colonialism.
disagree with the indoctrination, though, right? We can't disagree
No,
that has been indoctrinated
and that's the
in
point.
the
Because
society of the people.
we claim ourselves to be fighting against it. Then why use it? If you're fighting against it, and I'm showing you a way to actually fight against it, then why fight against me? You saying the
Because
white man is the devil. Hold on. Let me say this. People are saying that the white man's the devil. People are saying they stole our history and took our history. If that's the truth, right? Now I'm bringing you the scientific study where the measure has been changed, right? Then why are you holding on to racist tropes? What's the point of that? How can you grow and learn as a people if all you can think of yourself is what they named you to be? That's crazy to me. But go ahead.
I agree with you, but it's not just that simple, brother Unc. You know that, right? Most people who are
Hard, right?
indoctrinated, most people who are indoctrinated. It's not easy to get them out of that indoctrination. So maybe it's the way you presenting what your argument. Maybe it's not resonating in the way that you're communicating with the people. But for those who are still indoctrinated, you still have to communicate to them to where they can understand
No,
your
I
point of
don't.
view.
That's what I'm saying.
Well,
I don't care.
see, and that's why I disagree with you, because the way you see it isn't the way that everybody else is going to see it, because it's opinion based.
Hold on, brother. Hold on, brother. Let Unc make his point.
I actually don't offer my opinion, because if I just would use my opinion, I would say what you're saying. I'm actually want our community to look at the world through the lenses of anthropology. Anthropology is the study of culture. I want them to look through the lenses of evolutionary biology. Right? I understand the racism. I understand people died. I get that. What I'm saying is, come on, bro. We either gonna play in the pros or we're gonna play in Little League. The Little League is looking at the Egyptians saying they black or white. It was clear that the white people was off their rocker, said they was white. They was Caucasian. It was crazy. They was just wrong. So
racism.
It was scientific racism. So why would I promote? Why would I turn it around? Because you don't understand. The reason you don't understand because it's hard, and that would mean you had to take your ass off of YouTube for a couple days or a couple months and actually read something or listen to some serious work. I would force you. Your professor in college would not allow you to continue to say the same things. You would get an F. So then why should I allow you to continue? Why should I make it easy when the world we live in is not easy, bro? There's a way to look at this, and you win. We win by them being indigenous Africans. We win by understanding human migrations. Tell them the truth, bro. Like, we win. So why I want to put us in a position of ignorance, bro? I promote knowledge and wisdom, not ignorance. And it's ignorant to think that a group of people at 5,000, 2,000, 3,000 BCE was calling themselves black people. That's not even a real study. Like, they wasn't doing that. Like, they had their own agency. Like, why do we give colonialism so much power? Like, the continent of Africa and African people, they might not even want to call themselves African. They might want to call themselves whatever their ethnic group is. Don't they have the power? What about the great leader that's starting to rise up in Africa right now, Burkina Faso? He's looking for agency, bro. He's saying, well, hold on. I don't think that's development with me giving my gold to y'all. That's stupid. Well, hell, we sitting here in America and say that shit been stupid. I can't believe for the life of me that the Africans didn't have enough sense to say, hey, bro, I want you to build this plant right here. I'm going to give you maybe 10 years of the land, but I need you to first train some people to build my own plants. We sitting there saying we thought it was common sense. Now you get African leaders saying it, right? Because they starting to realize that literacy, right? And understanding your world is the only thing gonna get you through here. So no, I'm not playing with these dudes. I'm not a babysitter, yo. Right? I'm gonna throw the whole goddamn tub out, bro. Got to go. Because that's when you grow, right? When you get the truth. Hey, bro, you either gonna use drugs or you not. If you use the drugs, your life gonna be fucked up. Well, if you just get a little bit of high, I know you got a problem. I know you've been in rehab. I know you didn't did this and that. You can just get a little bit of high. Come on, bro. We need reality, bro. This is real. The kids, they don't have the ability to have conversations. They conflict resolution is wild. It's not cool to have single parent home. That shit ain't. When is that shit cool? You need 2 functioning parents. They don't necessarily have to be, but they have to be functioning. You know what I'm saying? To raise these goddamn brothers and sisters, yo. The internet can't do it. And you can't play the soft game. Brothers, when you drop that, yo, you need to be there. Ain't no, nigga, why you sleeping with them then, yo? Why don't you just, you can't play with this, bro. Yo, we in dire straits, bro. And playing, I'm going to tell you, when I'm speaking, right, the Dr. Oyamaya class, yo, she requires me to be excellent. I can't use fillers. My presentations can't be full of words. I have to know the material, and I have to be serious. She's not saying, well, I know you slipped and said a cuss. Well, you said a couple times. That's okay. She say, bro, you're not going to be able to do that. And if you can't get that in check, I'm not going to let you speak. I'm not going to have you in front of my class embarrassing me. She did. And I be in there like this. Well, basically such and such, and I'm doing this. I don't use no filler, none of that, bro. Because I know I can't make that mistake. There are times in our life, bro, where a mistake could get your motherfucking ass killed. Simple as that. So no, I'm not.
May I respond?
I know you want to respond because you want.
I had a quick question before you respond. Nothing to drag.
Hey, real quick. I got a question. A1. Have Brother Aoife went yet?
Nope, I don't believe so.
No, I didn't get a chance. Hey, shout out to
let Aoife get in real
Paradigm
quick.
Shift. You hear me?
Yes, sir. Shout out, my brother.
Hey, yeah, shout out to Paradigm Shift. Shout out to brother
Baltimore. Aoife, you be playing, Aoife.
No, man. Look, Zone 15 in the house, Park Heights, man, all day, every day.
Heights,
Listen,
man, he grew up with me. This is the only person that really know me. It's right here. Only seeing me play Little League Baseball, seeing me go through my drug habit, seeing me go through my get money stages, seeing me in high school. This is the only nigga who really know me, yo. Yo, they underestimate me, Aoife. I swear.
Hey, man, I get it because I get it every day. I get it in the back chat alleys. I get it every day. Shout out DMG. Much respect, brother.
Shout out to you, bro.
Hey, nice show, man. That's all I want to say, and I'm out.
No, don't run. Wait.
Show.
He our first PE, the first dude in our neighborhood reading books, yo. That's Aoife.
Oh, man.
He the first dude go through the Nation of Islam, study all the books. That's Aoife. That's who that nigga is right there, yo. Serious guy, man. Great guy. He run with the criminals. He run with the good people, the bad people, and everybody love Aoife, yo. Good guy, man. He ain't sell dope with us. At least I ain't know nothing about it.
No.
Good, real dude. Like he one of them examples that you got to understand. And I always tell my kids is, hey man, just be yourself, bro.
Yeah.
That's why me and Aoife here living today, because no matter what I did, I was myself. Absolutely. I ain't trying to run around like super tough Charlie guy. We just was out. We wore the Timberlands. We just was ourselves.
To thine own self be true.
Yeah, that's a good dude right there. That's my man, right? He don't tell nobody that shit, but that man seeing me in cross country. That's how with the first grade
elementary. Elementary school, man, all the way back.
That's what's up.
Hey, look, science defeats all ignorance. That's all I want to say.
And for the record, hey, check this out. For the record, Aoife, I ain't come up here lying to these people about none of this shit I did in my life. Did I?
No, not one. Not one. I can corroborate that. Not one.
So that's what's up.
Yo, can I play? Nah, I ain't gonna start doing you like that. Can I play football?
Yeah, man. Yeah. He was nice. He was nice, bro.
A1.
Let me stop, yo.
I'm gonna go to A1, then we're gonna go to Gullah.
That's a good guy though, right there. He's a good dude right there, yo.
That's a cool brother.
He's so humble, yo. I remember we was on Garfield show, yo, and he arguing back with a song. I'm like, who the hell is that? This man would not even say, yo, it's me, yo, from the block, yo. He wouldn't even say it, yo. Yeah, I mean, that's a good dude right there, yo. 21215, yo. It's not too many people, DMG, that known you from elementary school and still around, yo. You know that, right?
Hey, I only got a couple. A couple left. That's it. Yeah. Hey, Tiff, I don't see you back here. Did you hit the link? Here, I'll drop it again, but I didn't see you back there if you was.
And big up to Gullah, man. Gullah been around for a long time in these YouTube sheets, man. Been a part of everything I done had, yo. Always there, yo. If I'm wrong, we gonna argue for hours. Yeah, him, Gozy, man. I met Gullah. He was young, yo. He was younger than Gozy, yo.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, them dudes was talking that science shit. This nigga was a master of Wikipedia, yo. We was like, get out of here with that. He was like, nah, yo, check this out. He ended up being right about that shit.
Yo, but check it out. But yo, DMG, I got a jet on. But yo, there's some things I do want from you, brother. I do need a Bobby Banger special on the why Black folk feel like it's okay to be Native American. I would love to see that from you. You know what I'm saying?
Listen. Yeah. Can we get that? Can we get that over here?
Love to see that. I would love to see
you know, I actually just showed y'all the shit. Like, niggas don't know what about Niagara Falls and the Great Lakes. If they knew about that, they would stop that.
Yeah. But I'm gonna hit y'all up later, man. I'll talk with you later. Yo, peace to my boy Sid, the pseudo slayer, and the champion. You know what I'm saying?
Both belts.
Yeah, both belts. He took both belts. Yeah. Hey, DMG for president. Yo, DMG, I'm out. I'll talk with you later, Chief.
All right, bro. Hey, Bible breaker. I know you had a question, and then we're gonna go over to Gullah.
Yeah, my question was, I thought I heard you mention Omar Aye. Is that who you was talking about? That you wouldn't let you like curse in the class?
That was Dr. Oyamayat.
Okay.
University.
You put me on the Shomarka Omar Yaya.
Shamaka Cater, that's my main man. I got an interview we did. I'm gonna start releasing some of the parts.
Man, you put me on to him a couple years ago and changed my life.
Oh,
that stuff changed my life, man. Because I almost ended up Team Kimmit, and you saved me. You saved me. I skipped the Hebrew Israelite phase. I almost ended up Team Kimmit, man. Thank you, man. Thank you, Bobby.
and now you the Bible breaker.
Yeah. Oh man, beating them half to death. I can tell already.
Hey, let me go to my man Gullah.
Yeah, what's up with it, man? Peace to the panel. Another great scholar check out too. They give a good outline of African history. That cooperates with Soy Kieta is Christopher Eric. Is one of my favorites. You know, he paints a very healthy picture of African migrations.
Okay.
Yeah,
his last book. Yeah, he did. Now he died a couple months ago.
Oh yeah.
He got this book too. Gullah actually introduced me to that first book a couple years ago.
Oh yeah.
Right here. This is the one Gullah liked to read. This Gullah book then fell apart. This is
man. Okay.
That shit then fell apart, yo.
Yeah,
hey, Gullah, if you got any presentations you ain't did yet, man, hit us up, man. Come on, feel free to come on over.
Oh yeah, for sure. I got a channel, the Book of Al-Jahid. I got some, some recorded presentations on there. I'm gonna start back up. I just moved, so I'm gonna transition to get my setup back up. So,
okay.
I just moved and get my setup right. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be back on live.
Sure. Throw your link in the chat.
Oh yeah. And shout out to the people in St. Louis standing together, man. you know what I'm saying, DMG, my people, our family going through it, especially on the west side or northwest side of the city, you know what I'm saying, a
Yes, sir.
tornado hit through the city, man. Hit through a lot of places where I grew up at.
Crazy.
Yeah, yeah. Listen, man, it was people in their houses with no power. Houses was almost, I'm talking about half of the roof, the whole roof
Yeah, that's
was
crazy.
off. And we had elderly people that just didn't want to leave because they didn't want people running up in their crib. We had elderly people that couldn't leave, so we couldn't even leave. We went down trying to leave water and food and supplies and stuff like that, flashlights. We couldn't even leave it out there for them, like on their porch, because they wouldn't have been able to get to it. So we had to go up in there. It was crazy, but everybody, like my man said, came together, man, and we was able to help people get through it. And as devastating as it was less than 10 deaths in the city. You would hope it wouldn't be none, but it was less than 10.
Oh, that was good.
Yeah, and that's where usually tornadoes don't hit through the main urban areas of the city. Usually like the outskirts. So that was something
Climate
rare
change.
to hit in the
Climate
middle
change.
of the city. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it's climate
Yeah.
change.
Climate change, yo.
Right in the heart of the city.
People like Donald Trump don't agree to that.
That's crazy. That we saw it in action, like he said, right in the heart of the city. So we're gonna go over to my girl Tiffany. You said you was gonna play nice, Tiff. Go ahead.
Hey, peace, brother. How you doing?
How you doing, sis?
I'm doing fine. So yeah, I'm gonna play nice. First and foremost, before I get started, my heart go out to the people out there in St. Louis. I hope you guys are, what I'm saying, recovering from the tornado incident and whatnot. So I just want to give my condolences, my heart to you guys.
Appreciate it.
Okay, you're welcome. And also, I heard the interview with Ankh. And there's some things that I like, disagree with him on. So one of the things I want to point out, because I remember you said this out your own mouth regarding to African spirituality. I remember you said African spirituality is pseudo. And can you explain why did you say that?
Yeah, that's a lie. You ain't never hear me say that. You made that up.
I recall that. I recall it very well.
Wrong person. Never said that.
You sure about that?
Positive is a religion. And if I said it, I was wrong. But I know I don't call nobody religion pseudo. That's crazy. It's a religion. It's different. You wouldn't say that. A person is promoting science literacy. You just wouldn't say that. It's a cultural container of ideas. Now, is it trying to be science? And then when people try to make it scientific, like, I chopped the animal head off and cured that, then that's pseudo. Yeah, because now you're trying to say that some kind of way is some kind of evidence-based. No, now you're messing it up. But their religion and culture, your people culture is what it is. It's the culture, custom, and traditions. And oh, by the way, Africa will move forward as they separate their spirituality from their science. It's the only way.
Okay, so why they can't have their spirituality and science combined together?
You can. You just got to separate church and state. Got to. The two can't be mixed. It's oil and water. They don't work. Simple, because you can't. Because they're gonna get in the way. They're gonna one going overthrow the other. Can't do it. And that's why I keep showing this because this is important. I keep showing it. Yeah, it took humans 350,000 years to separate those things. Yeah, it took a long time, yo. And now that we recognize it, we ain't, I tell you, the Greek philosophers was killing people who thought that Zeus created the thunder and lightning. You say no and try to explain it in a rational way, they would kill you for it. So they was killing people. Right now in Africa, you might get stoned for not believing, yo. It's human beings, I'll say this, the literate nations are there. It seems to be the more poor nations rely more on spirituality. Just like in our community. Seems like you go to church, the broker you are, the more you go to church. By the time you get some money, you in there and you're out. Why? Because there's a fundamental thing that people who are broke, they need more hope, yo. and religion seems to give them hope. And I'm telling you, African nations are behind. They're not behind their spirit. They got all kind of talismans, all kind of everything. What are they behind in? Because it would seem easy for me and you to say, well, Kenya and Burkina Faso, why don't y'all just trade back and forth? All the land you got, you can produce and all that and start a bustling market, right? Why not do that? Right? Why not say China? I'm going to pick Russia, right? I no longer want the French here. I don't want them here no more because y'all tripping. Y'all protecting the companies over protecting our land. You tripping. Give me Russia. What's your plan, Russia? You want to build some plants? You can build some plants, but you got to train our people to run the damn plants. You want this mineral? Bet, but I want you to build this and build that so my people can run it and we'll sell it to you for a good price. That's what it is, right? They have to be they have the youngest population on earth. They spirituality ain't going to get them through. It's going to be their adherence to understanding nature is what's going to get them through this. Have the youngest population.
What makes you think that they don't have any type of understanding of nature?
You only get to understand through nature, through science.
So what makes you think that they're not science? So what makes you think they're not scientifically advanced?
I'm not saying they're not. You have a lot of scientists in Africa. What I'm saying is they like African Americans. They put their damn religion first.
Yeah,
African Americans put their spirituality first. Right here, yo. If I was to take a poll, people gonna put Christ right here over daggone science all day, every day, when it really should be a balance. They gotta balance it out, sis. I'm not saying they gotta get rid of their thing. I'm saying is apply science to things that like drought, right? Building fresh water, right? Pipes, being able to get to the aqueducts that's underneath the land. That's gonna take technology and science. None of they stuff gonna get them there. Just like China. China got the largest industry. Hold on, yo. China has the one of the largest what they call it, Gullah, traditional medicine in the world.
Yeah, Oriental,
right? Yeah, they got it. Yeah, but alongside that, they have evidence-based medicine. Africa also has a large industry of they call it medicine, traditional medicine. But they alongside, they don't have nothing alongside it. It's down here. You need Europe. You need people from France, Britain to come in and give you vaccines. All that shit. Come on, bro. Cuba, they made their own vaccines. China, they made their own vaccines. Russia, they made their own vaccines. Why they had to wait, right, for European colonial powers to give them vaccines. And oh, by the way, if they didn't have enough money, which they didn't have enough money, they had to wait until America, you know what I'm saying? America had billions of dollars. They spend billions of dollars. They spend billions of dollars on 7 or 10 vaccines, and only 3 of them made through. Other countries didn't have the money to spend the vaccines before they was made or even was approved. They had to wait in line for us to give it to them, bro. I'm saying they got to knock that off. Knock it off. Because the spiritual power didn't give them vaccinations. And then you had leaders talking about trying to do all kinds of spiritual things and dying their damn self from COVID. It was ridiculous. So that's my point, though. So, no, they got to separate that immediately.
Hey, listen,
but today, right now.
Okay, can I say this?
We getting ready to we a little bit after 10, and y'all know how it go with me. I'm trying to get scientific with my queen. So what I want to do, Tiff, I'm gonna have you wrap yours up. I'm gonna go to Gullah, then I'm gonna go to Sword, then I'm gonna go to A1, and then we're gonna let wrap this thing up. Try to take about a minute if you can. Go ahead, Tiff. Unmute your mic. Tiffany, unmute your mic. Can you hear me, sis? Go ahead, Gullah. We'll come back to Tiff.
Yeah, I would say, you know what I'm saying? I like the idea of, African spirituality and stuff like that, but you can't mix it with science at all. Like we'll be headed through a sunken ship, you know what I'm saying, for us like human advancements, period. I mean, you can't be looking at OEI and MAI as, you know what I'm saying, how storms and stuff like that really works. That'd be the same equivalent in looking at Zeus and the Mount Olympus, you know, so when we look at, we'll say, oh, you know what I'm saying, the problem with European spiritualities and mythologies, you know what I'm saying, but African ones are right. You know what I'm saying? It's all the same. All of it's mythology. You can't use mythologies and, you know what I'm saying, and say that's how the natural world is explained. You know what I'm saying? Because humans didn't even know then when they created those stories. You know what I'm saying? They didn't know exactly, you know what I'm saying, pinpoint exactly how these things work. They were just using assumption and you know what I'm saying, I guess what you call it? Assumption, and I guess, you know what I'm saying, just first, not through a scientific lens, you know what I'm saying, just their own observation of what they thought things work.
Gotcha. All right, let's 7 us off. Give us your final thoughts. Try to keep it around a minute.
Okay, peace. I just want to say that, Brother Ankh, I disagree with you with that black. Everything that you said, I agree with, except for the fact that you gave your opinion on how you feel people should look at that history. It's not a fact on how they should look at it. It's your opinion. And that's what I'm talking about. So, and another thing I would say I disagree with is that people who you've debated, opposed, never said that people back then were using the word black to describe themselves, right? So, but we know what that word means right now. So, in all, I just want to say that I heard DMG give good praise to Brother Sarnetta. I'm part of that HOK community, and I uphold that community. And while they do is they put scholars and credited teachers on there for us to learn, and that's a place you can learn here. Just like here is a great place you can learn, and I've learned some things here too. So that's all I have to say. And peace.
Hey, I hope you subscribe, my boy.
I got you. Subscribe.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I appreciate it, man.
Yes, sir.
All right. Oh, fell off again? Damn.
Man.
All right. Hopefully she can hit that link again. If you can hear me, Tiff, hit the link again.
Ain't that crazy, yo? We sit right there and watch people say that the ancient Egyptians called themselves black people. Did the word Kemet mean black people? How you say that, man? So you just not listening? You come on, bro. Like, don't do me like that. Don't do me like that, yo. Why you gonna do me like that, man? That's what get me frustrated. Like, right. People said the word Kemet mean black people. Show the gifts and all that. Like,
I've seen them show it, Ankh. They showed and proved it. I've seen them do the work right in front of me and showed that the word Kim meant black. You may refute it, but I've seen numerous scholars agree with it.
No.
That's what scholarship is about, right?
No.
Some agree and some disagree.
No. Hold on. See, here we go. We know the word Kemet mean black. That's not the issue. Their religion is tied to the word Kemet meaning black. Now, is it because of the people being dark skinned? Or is it because of the rich soil that gave rise to their religion? So did the color of the people's skin give rise to their religion? Or did the color of the black soil, which was magical, which allowed them to have agriculture and feed? They said it was the breadbasket of the world. Was it because of black skin or black soil, bro? What's the real contrast?
Are these reciprocal questions? No,
No, because we gotta go over to Tiffany.
Okay. I don't want to get caught up in it. We'll have to continue this another time, brother.
Yeah, definitely.
Not get beat up in it, not caught up in it. You get beat up in it.
I'm not gonna get you. Ain't beating nothing up. You gonna say your spiel and I'm gonna say mine.
Yeah, I'm beating up what you saying up.
Man, you ain't beat up nothing. You just talking a lot. You ain't beat up nothing, brother.
I ain't saying nothing. Matter of fact, you can put this all on me and a saw. Check this
Step
out.
aside.
Hold on. DMG, I ain't tripping.
In the private chat. I'm gonna put my email in the private chat. Hit me up if you wanna come back on here and possibly further this conversation with the guy.
He don't want to further no damn conversation because he know he ain't got
Oh
nobody
man,
to support
I'm
that.
not scared of you, brother Unc. We all have our opinions on the subject.
I'm not giving my opinion.
All right,
listen.
Yeah, you definitely gave an opinion.
I didn't give my opinion.
Okay, yeah, let me go in the back and I get that information. We can set something up.
Yeah, I'm gonna put my email in the back. Let's go over to Tiffany and let her give our final thoughts. Try to keep it under a minute, sis.
Okay, real quick. I just want to say that, our people don't get enough credit for a lot of things that they have contributed to society and to the world. So that's just my whole thing. And I think that we should give more credit to those Africans that have really put in the work and have done.
Tiffany, your audio is tough to
Can you hear
hear.
me now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you a little bit. You got a lot of background noise.
Okay, yeah, okay. I'm trying to get home, but anyways, so basically, I was saying that we just need to give credit to those African people who have really, put in the work in society and have really contributed a lot. It's not enough information being shared on as far as our people is concerned. So that's all I want to say on that. I hope you got everything I was saying.
For the most part. All right, sis. Hey, get home safe, sis. You want to respond to her?
Yeah, I'm saying it's right here in this book. Once again, I bring you the book. And in this book right here, it says medical milestones to 1850. For millennium, humans have been trying to understand and treat every manner of the body ailment. Here are a few examples of achievements and medical firsts along the way. And they give you chronology. There's the table. You see it? See the chronology table there, DMG?
I see it.
All right. Now, what the hell is going on? It's a 2500 BCE. At 2500 BCE is the first medical milestone. It says, Imhotep, one of the first physicians known by name and the father of Egyptian medicine, is known. Survey and papyrus indicate much earlier origins of Egyptian medicine and knowledge. And they got the Egyptian medical papyrus right there. So the people do give us credit. We just don't know where to find it at. It's in a damn book called the damn library. Where the hell you think I got all the stuff from? I mean, that's what people in medicine and science do. They give credit. Remember I talked about the steps? They give credit to the steps. But if you're saying it's the white man's science, you're not going to pay attention to it. Scientists, doctors, they give credit to things that came before it. Why? Because that's what they do. It's not their fault you don't know your damn story. It's not your fault you running away from science. You're running away from the very thing that will say they do give you credit. It's the charlatans and buffoons amongst you that say they don't give us all credit. That's a bunch of malarkey. It's 2025. Open your damn eyes. Right? They books, libraries, institutions. The origin of humanity is in Africa. What more credit do you want? I teach, I give a lecture on the origin of STEM in Africa at a university. I published a paper. By the way, here's the paper there, DMG. I felt like this be the great interview to kind of show the people the damn paper, because they all act like I don't got a daggone paper, and they all act like, well, you ain't did this, you ain't just a damn lie, man. People sitting around just making up stuff.
Hey, and too, it was an African that pioneered modern vaccination. You know what I'm saying?
We talked about it earlier, bro. Like people don't even know the history, man.
The information.
I know the history. And Tiff, you gave us a pseudo channel too. I want you to know that. Since I'm on a hot seat, you mentioned
Look. We
Nation of
not gonna
Islam or
go
something.
there.
That was a pseudo channel.
Hey, we're not gonna do that
Oh,
on
I'm
this
letting,
man's
you know.
channel.
I
Like
don't
I
see
told
why
this
not.
man, I'm coming up here to be.
No,
Nah,
I'm
because
making a
I'm not gonna
point
do
that
that.
the
I'm gonna
channel you
respect this
bring.
man's channel.
Listen, that's not disrespectful.
Hold
Why you over talking me, Tiffany?
on. I'm gonna respect this man's channel because he don't want all of that. So if
Well,
you got
what he
that
do
kind of
want to
issue,
know?
you want to take
We
it up
do
with
want to
me.
know that the Nation of Islam got a fake science
Okay,
channel. How is that
but
all that?
hold on. We not, like I said, we not gonna do that on this man's channel. If you want to take it up with
That's the
me,
same
come to my page and we can have that conversation. But I'm gonna respect this
it's
man's
not a
channel
conversation.
because
That's
I'm not
not
gonna go.
disrespecting DMZ.
Yeah, we can have that conversation on my channel. We're not gonna
Well,
do it on
we
his
don't
channel.
got.
So I'm gonna
Well,
respect
it
his
ain't a
time. I'm
conversation.
gonna
They a
respect
bunch of
his time on here.
pseudoscientists, anti-vax.
Okay, call it what you
What
want.
science channels
Like I said, if you
anti-vax?
got something to say, like I
Said it.
said, you can come on my channel. We can have that conversation. We ain't gonna
No,
do
I'm
it on this
good.
brother's channel.
I ain't
Period.
good. But no, he said act right. He ain't say you gotta hide and
Period.
lie.
She said
That's what he
period.
said. You made that up, Miss Tiff. Right here, black. It say
Nah,
black
but you
excellence in engineering,
trying to
science,
turn into a
technology.
debate, and I ain't trying to do that.
It's not a debate. Any channel that's anti-vax is not a scientific channel. It's not a debate. It's not up for debate. It says proposing African-centered education in STEM for African American STEM learners. There you go. And I'm on the paper. Robert West. There you have it. Deanne Bailey and James Holly Jr., PhD. All right. It's a great paper for proposing African-centered education in STEM for African American STEM learners. Right. This is my contribution to the African American community. What are we talking about here? You're not running up in a university with the clip clack blip black blip black. They're not going to let you do it. All right, you're not going up in a university saying I'm gonna teach a STEM class and introduce atheism or religion. They be like, no, that's not what we do around here. Stick to your subject, sir. All right, so that's all I'm saying. So there's a difference here. All right, and the difference is we stay with science. There's no scientifically literate channel that oppose vaccines like that. Any information that you get from vaccines come from vaccine scientists. They give you the good, the bad, and the ugly. So I'm never understanding why people that deny science will cherry pick things that the scientists they claim they don't trust are actually saying. I'm going to say this again for people who are slow. I never understand why people who deny the value of science and claim not to listen to white people will listen to the scientists when they say this vaccine may cause this, cause this, cause that, but then won't tell you the whole story and say yes, but at a larger level, right, it's helpful. It's a risk reward. They only tell you one side. But the question is, why are they using those scientists after they say don't listen to the scientists? When you look at the commercial and you see of certain medicines, see, I told you. Yes, but that's so now you believe that because that's the medical scientists that'll bring you what it can cause. Hey, bro, we got a long way to go, man. I'm glad to be in this community, man. I'm glad to be on this platform, bro.
Hey, real quick. Hey, Warren, give us your closing thoughts, and then we're gonna let the God Killer get us out of here.
Closing thoughts, man. Shout out Ankh for coming up here. I used to sound like 7, man, until you put me on to what's his name again? Keita?
Yeah,
That's his
Samantha
name?
Cater, Dr.
Samantha
Cater,
Keita,
Tamaka
the
Cater.
multicultural origins of Egypt. Look this video up. It's really called The Origins of Early Egypt, Asian, European, or African. That video changed everything. And I still pull it up to this day and
That's
show
serious,
people
bro.
this when they, come like that, because Unc isn't giving his opinion, like he said. He's not giving
Right,
his
I ain't no
opinion at
damn
all.
opinion. Come on, bro.
This is at the library. And I'm gonna leave you alone on the vaccines. I think the conversation is a little conflated. All vaccines may not be bad, but with what happened with the recent COVID stuff, there's a lot going on and a lot to unpack. We're not going to do it in the closing arguments, but with that being
what
said,
you saying? What you saying?
I'm saying there's a lot of conflict. Well, like you were saying,
Tell
you
him,
said
tell him what you
specifically.
saying.
I'll give him a specific comment. He said we had the data. You specifically said we had the data and the research, and then I thought, wait a second, they were trying to keep it from us for 75 years, and the Supreme Court told them they had the same amount of days that they took to release the vaccine to get the people the data. I remember that, but like again, it's a lot.
No, hold on. What? You gotta slow that down. What you say?
You didn't know that that Pfizer was trying to keep the data from being released on
To who?
Publicly released, because there was a group of Yale, Harvard, Cambridge scientists trying to get the data and study it in real time so that they can help. And then they sued. So again, it's like I say, it's a lot.
All right,
It's not at all.
Hey, hold on.
I'll pull it up.
Because look, I told y'all about 15 minutes ago. I was trying to go get scientific with the wife. So listen, before y'all start y'all conversation.
Tell them put it in the chat though. We ain't gonna start. Put that in the chat for me, yo. You made that up. That's your last stumbling block right there, yo. If you can get past vaccines, yo, you can move to the other side.
He put a link in the chat, A1, and y'all can further this conversation. The guy killer that came over here and sparked like 5 different conversations.
5 different conversations. You can always tell. You know, you be like, I just quit my eyes on your A1. You almost get A1.
brother.
A1, look, I'm squinting my eyes.
Nah, A1, don't respond. Don't respond, A1. Don't respond. Don't respond. Listen, hey, brother, God Killer is on you. Final thoughts. Take as long as you need, my brother.
I want A1. Since I can take as long as I need to put that right here for me, A1. I'm gonna do you a solid, yo. Since you seem to speak with reason, I'm gonna do you a solid. What I will tell you is, why would you have to sue for information that's always available to the public anyway? Like releasing the data is part of the mandate.
I'm gonna drop the link, and it's from
put it right here. Let me see. If I'm wrong, I'm being the first one to say I'm wrong.
You love.
Yeah, let me see. Now I bet you misread. Put it in there. And you saying what?
Oh no, this is Reuters right here.
Who?
FDA must disclose COVID vaccine records. U.S. judge rules. This is one of the articles. This is an easy lookup.
You gotta drop.
Oh, I'll drop this one.
Right, I'm in the private chat. Put it right there because I'm gonna respect.
And we all have Chat GPT. This is easily Chat GPTable and all of that.
Put that right here though. I want to find out why.
I'm on the wrong. I can't find the screen. Okay, here I
go. No, you just put it. You don't need no screen. What you mean?
No, I found it. I was on a different tab. I couldn't find the tab.
Oh, yeah, just drop it right here for me, yo.
Boom, there goes one.
All right, let me see.
Wait, let me read real quick just to make sure this is the right one. Yeah, and then they were saying because of COVID that they were short-staffed and they only had like 6 people to review the documents and it was going to take 7. Brother, I'm not making this up. They sued. And it was a group.
No, what are you saying though? I'm trying to figure out what is your point? What you saying it for a reason?
Well, you were saying that we had the data and all of that. We didn't know the data and we didn't know all. We do
got the data on vaccines and how they made it. Did China shared the daggone data with the whole world, and that's how they was able to make. Now you talking about this particular company didn't do what? What you saying? FDA must disclose more COVID-19 vaccine records. From what companies you talking about? What more?
The judge. Wait, and read this next sentence. The judicial rule overturned. Hold on. The judicial rule overturned the regulatory agency's plan to withhold data for up to 55 years. So I want you to look into this.
After failing to persuade.
I'm not making this up.
The ruling. Hold on. Yeah, you're doing something slick.
I'm
not saying you making it up, but I don't think you're not understanding exactly what it was, right? Because listen, bro, you have independent people to test these vaccines, yo. So we do have the data on vaccines. Now you talking about on the COVID what? It don't even say COVID. What is it saying? COVID what? What is it saying?
Specifically, it was Pfizer who was sued.
Okay,
I could
that's
pull up more stuff. I'm just in a rush to pull it up. I wasn't even thinking about it. I did a
no
whole
dropping
podcast
up,
on it.
drop it,
And then I
drop
read
another
100
one.
pages. I read the first 100 pages of data that came out
Drop it.
to the people, and it was going over the
Hey,
myocarditis,
look, this what I'm gonna do.
the
This what I'm gonna do.
abortions that women were having,
Hey,
and abortions.
A1,
Nah,
A1,
abortion. Nah, you gonna mess that one up. Now you just digress.
A1.
It's in the
I'm a
data.
link.
It's in the data.
No, they wasn't having no more abortion. No,
Well, you
come
know
on.
what I mean.
Bible Breaker and Bobby Banger. Y'all got my word. I'm gonna link y'all up, even if it's just in the shift chat. I'm gonna link y'all
I don't want
up.
to debate you. You my elder. I want to learn, but I do want to go over the information with you cohesively, and then maybe you can unpack some stuff with me. I ain't know we were still alive.
Yeah, listen, I'm gonna link y'all up, but for now though, I'm gonna have.
You ain't gonna debate me. I ain't gonna debate you anyway.
Good,
That's why I'm
exactly.
the
I don't.
elder.
We're not gonna. That's DMG's over there trying to set it up in the corner. That's
No,
why I'm
I'm just trying to set up a discussion. Yeah, I'm just trying to set up a dialogue.
Yeah,
I'm just trying to set up a dialogue.
Yeah,
hey, I'm trying to get the God Killer back over here, and then we just open up the panel and let him, do his thing.
We'll talk about that. That's
weird. Yeah. So, God Killer, get us out of here, man.
Hey, so I'm gonna go over this right here, right? Because it's always like a mischaracterization, and I know what I said. I said we have the data on vaccines. Then he went specific with a particular company and some information. That's not what I said. I said we have the data that vaccines are safe and effective. That's what I said, to be clear. I said that. Now, I don't know what he's talking about, so I have to read it. All right, I'm gonna read it. So I want to make sure, A1, when you're trying to say that they hiding, what are you saying? What is exactly that you saying?
Specifically, I'm saying what they knew that it didn't stop transmission, and then they lied to us about that.
Oh, that's not true.
It's just
that's not true. It did. Matter of fact, the shit it didn't stop transmission because it started to mutate.
And that's,
but it was good. It was great job. It stopping transmission. They know that.
Only for the first variant, and then only for the first variant.
Okay, right. And then yes.
Yeah.
So it evolved.
Yeah, we follow the same. Yeah. She breaks all that stuff down. So we following the same person, but
right.
We'll talk about it.
I'm following. I fuck with Peter Hotez. He did a whole conversation about what you just talked about. That's why I'm like, okay.
How you spell his last name?
Peter Hotez.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you ain't know that he the one that went on Joe Rogan show.
Huh? A1, let the God Killer close out. A1, let God Killer close out.
So in closing, I would say no matter what we think we find, there wasn't an herb or spice that would get us back to our normal lives. Vaccines did that. It was vaccines, right? And people catching the COVID at high rates that allowed us to go back outside. That means that you was going to get immunity one way or another. You was either going to get it from the real thing or the fake thing. The vaccines represent the fake thing that tricked your body into thinking you had it. The real thing was the real thing. 250,000 Americans lost their lives because they was unvaccinated. Regardless of suing a particular company for whatever it is, whatever that is, we're going to find it out. But that doesn't stop the fact that the African American community suffered because of bad information coming from wild white people. We didn't have to suffer. Marginalized communities suffered more because they was ignorant on understanding vaccines. So I just want to end with that. Science is undefeated, man. Couple books for y'all to take a look at real quick. I think it's important. And reading is fundamental. Undefeated right here. All right. Bill Nye's the Science Guy. Donald Preptero. Okay. Evolution. All right. What the fossils say and why it matters. We got for all y'all talking about the Egyptians argument. Read this. Christopher Eric's Ancient Africa and the Global History to 3000 to 300 CE. All right. Go a little bit farther. All right. Rudolph Cooper. All right. These caves predate Nile Valley culture in the Sahara. All right. A survey, archaeological survey. Okay. For all y'all. Nzinga, my favorite person in history, favorite queen. Serious, right? You're talking about slavery. Get some academic source. This is an academic source on the life of Nzinga. The life and letters. What is that? Oh man, that's fun. The life and letters of Philip Kwaku, the first African Anglican missionary. Read the letters of Kwaku. He was trying to proselytize in Africa. He's the first one. The Portuguese in West Africa from 1415 to 1670. Documentary history. All Portuguese records here. Before you start talking about slavery and howling and screaming. The War on Science. Sean Otto. All right. All these books you can get on Audible. All right. Very, very important. My favorite right here, Trick or Treatment. The undeniable facts about alternative medicine. All right. So, in right here with that, man, it's important. Get your work, man. Get your work in. Get your study in. Don't let another person convince you of anything, bro. Take your time. It's all there for you. If you don't like reading, you can listen to the shit. All right. Hey, most days, these teachers, they don't even have books no more. People don't even have books no more. They don't even spend money on books no more, bro. So I like to buy the book, and I like to this for A1 right here, A1. The Deadly Rise of Anti-Science and Scientist Warning by Peter Hotez. That's how you spell his name right there. This is his new book.
I found them.
Book,
and I'll put them links in the back for you.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at all that. Let me click all of them. Man, it's gonna be fun for me. I ain't got nothing else better to do there, bro.
I gave you like 5 from 5 different credible sources.
That Bosby Boyd, biotech, vaccine, mRNA, Pfizer. So when they gonna be? What you think it's gonna say when they release it?
Oh, they already released it. That's when we found out about the myocarditis, and then once that stuff came out, then they had to start slowly implementing the truth into the narrative.
The myocarditis, they already figured out what it was. Let me see.
Just catch up, because maybe you don't know what the timeline is, but you closing out. Just close out, and we gonna chop it.
This is 20. Yo, this. No, bro, this is 2021, yo.
Yeah, I'm gonna link y'all up. I'm gonna link y'all up in the back chat. Y'all got my words. Y'all gonna be able to finish this thing out. But in the meantime, this has been a spotlight debate with our brother Ankh, the God Killer, aka Bobby Banger. We're gonna try to get him on again very, very soon.
Yeah, we're trying to get myocarditis.
For a interview. We're trying to get Brother Garfield over here for a spotlight interview. JJ 7K Marble Mouth. You know what? We cool again. So I got to call him Mandinka Molly. I can't call him Marble Mouth no more. Mandinka Molly. We're going to try to get Mandinka Molly over here for a spotlight interview. Maybe even Captain Tazoriak. I'm going to have to holler at my man, Captain K, see if we can get Captain Tazoriak. I'm trying to get all of the big wigs over here for these spotlight interviews with your brother DMG. That being said, I got to show y'all this right quick. Y'all know what it is. The Versus Series is live in 2025. We got a big debate coming up. The undefeated, undisputed Versus Series champion, Pandemus, the Pan-African Atheist, will be defending his Versus Series world Championship belt against the one and only Chief Ambassador LP the Great. The question at hand is, does belief in a higher power strengthen or weaken collective Black identity? Again, this is for the Undisputed Versus Series World Championship. That is this Saturday, 7:15 p.m. I know it said the 24th, but we had to change that date. Had a lot going on last week, so we moved it to this week. As you know, and here in the Versus Series, we actually pay our debaters. We're trying to have a professional debate league. So standard debates are $50 a piece for each participant. Since this is a world title debate, the world champion will be receiving $100. His challenger will receive $50. We're gonna have to do some contract negotiations with the Bible breaker to get him back active, though. He's trying to retire on me. I don't know what's going on. Me and this brother gonna have to talk after he get done talking to Ankh. So listen, family, y'all be here Saturday. I believe that is the 31st, May 31st, 7:15 p.m. Pandemics, the Pan-African Atheist, defending the world title against LP, the Chief Ambassador. Does belief in a higher power hinder or empower the Black community? And I'm paraphrasing on that title. So if it don't sound like it did previously, that's why. But those brothers gonna get to it. They're gonna get paid. We hope y'all are here to watch and support. Y'all know how it is. If you want to make sure that these debaters continue to get paid, y'all see it scrolling across the bottom of the screen. $ DMG the Poet. That's $ DMG DAPOET to support the channel and these debaters. Make sure they continue earning for these debates. This is a professional debate league. That being said, the next sound you're gonna hear is that of the musical messiah, Neo Love. It's been a spotlight interview with brother Ankh, aka Bobby Banger. You got our brother, the Bible Breaker A1. I'm finna link these brothers up in the back chat so they can continue this conversation. Seven the Source say he sent the email. All right, brother, I'm gonna reach out to you. And that being said, family, y'all stay tuned for Neo Love with that paradigm shift theme song. We out. Till next time, that's peace. Brother Ankh, salute.
Peace, man. A1, make sure you get vaccinated, yo.
The following music is performed by the musical messiah, aka the most dangerous Bible believer. Please be advised by how hard it hits.
Don't wanna have to do it, 'cause if you do it, you gon' have to prove it, you gon' lose it. Nigga, living life in my paradigm, shifting time from one state of mind. Something like the truth is, yes sir, I can prove it. Go ahead, bring the hallelujah to you. Back up on the beat, back up on the sweet, pack up all who speak bad on O&E. You don't wanna have to do it, 'cause if you do it, you gon' have to prove it, you gon' lose it. Nigga, living life in my paradigm, shifting time from one state of mind. Something like the truth is, yes sir, I can prove it. Go ahead, bring the hallelujah to you. Back up on the beat, back up on the sweet, pack up all who speak bad on O&E. You might know that Neo Love, but Neo Love O&E above. Switching lanes in the turning lane, old school, no roof above. Carpool, no room for her. Bitch, you cartoons, we gets it up. We check the sources, you listen to voices, you are not living like us. You say you creeping in houses and all of the monsters is living in fear of us. Pussy, we are not monsters and we are not pouncing and we are not giving a fuck. We up the score on you niggas, we done outgrown out you niggas, nigga. Yeah, with DM the G, Craig and the Craig and nobody. They saying Judah the Nads, but he be trash. Bring me the bag. Why the fuck would you brag with? No, you ain't living that bad. You are not rad. I take your choices and put them inside of a bag. Smoke them like hash, then dump out the ash and now the pussy on the crash. You You don't wanna have to do it, 'cause if you do it, you gon' have to prove it, you gon' lose it. Nigga, living life in my paradigm, shifting time from one state of mind. Something like the truest, yes sir, I can prove it. Go ahead, bring the hallelujah to you. Back up on the beat, back up on the sweet. Pack up all who speak, that on O&E. You don't wanna have to do it, 'cause if you do it, you gon' have to prove it, you gon' lose it. Nigga, living life in my paradigm, shifting time from one state of mind. Something like the truest, yes sir, I can prove it. Go ahead, bring the hallelujah to you. Back up on the beat, back up on the sweet. Pack up all who speak, that on O&E.